What's the first thing women notice? Your face. That's why you got to take care of. Simple things like getting a haircut, grooming your face, and brushing your teeth is important. But there's one thing guys miss and that women always notice. It's when a guy isn't taking care of his skin. That's why I'm so excited to have T. Shanley as a sponsor of today's video. T. Shanley simplifies the process of taking care of your skin. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing you don't. Seriously, I don't think some of you believe me when I tell you how much implementing a quality skincare routine will improve your confidence in all aspects of your life. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: daily face wash, exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with an SPF 20 and a PM moisturizer. But and to make it dead simple for you guys, they provide an instruction card in every box that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. But because T just sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description and get 40% off your first skincare system and free gift. Plus, as a member, you'll get 20% off for life. By the way, one of their new gift options is a silicone body scrubber, which is a $20 value and a complete game changer. Once you use this, you'll never go back to a regular loofah ever again. So don't wait any longer. Click the first link in the description to start your skincare journey today.
Maintaining your beard isn't just style, it's self-respect. A well-groomed beard boosts confidence and leaves a lasting impression. Elevate your look. Embrace the importance of beard care today.
Going on, family? How you doing? Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Miss Chanel, Queenie, Louise, we got Balance. She dropped off the book. We got let me tell y'all what's going on, family. Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, you good?
Hey.
Hey there. All right. Go ahead and send you an email. I don't know who that is. Anyhow, it's good to see you guys. Happy Sunday, man. Tomorrow's Monday. It'll be a brand new week. Some people go Monday through Sunday. Some people go Monday through Friday. And some folks, it's Friday every day, like Luis. It's always Friday for him. Every day feel like a Friday. But nevertheless, yeah, Luis. You never know where Luis gonna be at, man. He may be on this island. He may be in this country. He may be in the cities in the States. You just never know where Luis, man. Luis is inspirational, you guys. So I strive to be better than you, Luis, but you definitely set a marker for me.
I'm out here trying. Nothing
wrong with it. Let's go ahead and get the housekeeping out the way. Shout out to the sponsors, T. Shanley, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 40% off along with a free gift. You get 40% off along with a free gift. They got all type of goodies, anything you need. I literally just took care of what I need to take care of today. You know, I got the super serum right here, and this is the AM. It's the AM cream right here. It has the SPF 20 in there. So I recently learned how important it is, even though you do have melanated skin. I know we black people and we think our skin is invisible, but you do need the SPF 20 to protect your skin. And I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. You know, as far as my skin, it hasn't working wonders, but I'm not going to even lie. I wasn't using this AM because I just wanted my pores to stay, but I've been using it for the past couple weeks and I haven't seen any outbreaks or any clogging of the pores. So it got a lot of different ingredients in it that's catered to help your skin. So I definitely recommend you guys getting that Tej. I used it this morning, last night, and every day. Also, we do have the beard products, Assure Man. king on top. This is what I put in my beard. You know, you could hit my thing, but you could roll your fingers like straight through it. Yeah, this is what I use. You know, you could try whatever it is you want to try, but if you've been struggling with it, this is the way you. I just strongly advise you go ahead and give it a try. It's a whole system. You know, you can get a 2-pack if you want. I recommend getting the 4. They got the balm, they got the beard and face lotion, you got the oil, and you also got the cleanser. You have to make sure that we take care of our hair. I don't have none on the top of my head, but I do have it here. So whatever hair I got left, I'm gonna make sure I take care of it. What's going on, Balance? Yeah. If you haven't already, hit the like button. And also make sure you share the streams, subscribe, put the notifications on all. This is how you are not able to miss any live streams. I know people have reached out to me and say, I didn't even know you guys were live. Well, unfortunately, YouTube only notifies you, I think, 3 times a day. So if you upload more than 3 times a day, you will miss it. You won't automatically get a notification. That's why you want to make sure you turn notifications on so that you do not miss a stream. If you don't like the stream, hit the dislike button. You know, whatever it is that you want to do. I'm hoping you will like it. If you want to wait until a little bit later, or if you catch it on the replay, then if it's valuable for you, then hit the like button. I'm not going to discriminate your personal opinion about what you thought of the discussion. The main topic is a man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits based on who she is to him. I found some clips that I put together for us to have an open conversation. All participation is needed. So we got to make sure Hink is paying attention. You know, he may drift off a little bit, but we got you, Hink. I'll make sure I keep you involved, man. I'll make sure people are not long-winded.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right, Sweeney.
All right, I'm going to open it up with this. Let me see what we got in the chat first. Angela Swift, I see you. Shell the Lump, my first time seeing you. Welcome, Scuba Cat. AP is in the house. Dale Matthew, what's going on? How y'all doing? Thank you for joining the stream today. We really appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and open it up with this one. Who's that fellow? That's Luis. I'll try to stall a little bit, wait for Luis to come back before I play this clip. I'm glad it happened before I played it, because if I would have played it, I would have been, there he is right there. All right, you good, Luis? All right, why he's not ready. Here we go.
Think men marry until they're ready. 100%. And a lot of the times it has nothing to do with the woman that they choose. Yeah. A lot of the times they could have a great woman that caters to them and loves them, and they know that they could build something great. And it takes a certain type of man to say, okay, this woman is with me with where I am. But a lot of the times when men aren't financially stable, or they don't know what they want to be or what their purpose is, and they don't know who they are, and it could be all three or any of the three, I don't feel like a man is ready to commit to marriage because he hasn't even committed to himself. That's true. And so I think that we have to take a lot of the pressure off of us as women being like, well, why didn't this man choose me? Because it's easy to get married. And it's easy to be in a relationship, but being with a person that is aligned, that understands that there is a yearning and a desire to know who you are and to move in integrity with that person. That's a different type of relationship, which is why 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce, right? Because people don't take the time to really solidify those things first.
I know I was on mute. Let me go to open it up. Why he's not ready. I think that was she made some interesting points just now. Luis, I'm going to start with you first, but before you respond to the video, do you feel in your own personal experience, you're not speaking for every man, but have you felt like a lot of men was pressured into getting married based off the people you know that are married?
There's only one dude that comes to mind that felt like he was pressured to be married, and they're still married to this day. They had 2 children, they're married, they're happy, but I remember at the time when his girl told him, he was like, either you marry me by the end of the year, or you make a decision, or I'm going. And sort of he had to kind of put on his ice skates and kind of really, be a little bit more intentional. But I think it wasn't that he wasn't ready. It was just that he was juggling a lot at the time. And I don't think he was just mentally there. It wasn't about the money. It was just the mindset of being able to kind of put himself in that next level of being married. But he had to kind of quickly, navigate through that and make a decision. Because he ultimately has an amazing woman, and they're still together to this day.
All right. Hank, I'm gonna go to you, and I'll come back to you, Luis, as far as your response. But Hank, do you feel like men really understand what marriage is? Like, do you think they understand the importance of, when you say the vows, like how serious this commitment is?
No, not the 2024 man. I don't think they do. Now, if you a man who's been down the road and been there before, you you learn fast. But if you just now coming in, yeah, these 2024 men, they don't, because they haven't seen it a lot, unfortunately, in their family, or their household, or nothing like that. So it's kind of hard to identify when you don't have an example.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get some of these ladies involved. Chanel, we'll come to you. I know you've seen the video why he's he's not ready. Um, Let me ask you this: have you ever got proposed to?
Yes, I've been proposed to 4 times. I
Mm.
said yes and got married. And I was 25, 26 when I got married. And I divorced him when I was 29. I was young. I got married. He was like 7, 8 years older than me. He's in his 30s. But he knew what he wanted. He talked to my family, got approval and all that stuff. He did everything right. But he was an alcoholic. And I was in grad school, so I had other things going on. And his perspective of being married was me being barefoot and pregnant. So me growing up around 8 uncles, all married with their wives, my grandmother and my grandfather still been married since 72 years. Um, I understood that, but I had other things that I wanted to do, and he was an alcoholic. So I felt like at the time he knew what he wanted when he proposed to me. That's why he proposed to me. But once we got married, things were a little different. So that's all I really have to say about that part.
Okay. And then as far as the video, what were your thoughts about that? How did you feel about what she said when it comes to men's mindset?
Well,
And
I agree with Hank. The newer ones definitely don't know what marriage is, because basically our generation and down. I mean, our generation above us, we've seen that, but it definitely has gotten scarce from this generation, millennials all the way down. So they don't even have that model, that role model. Right? Matter of fact, there's so much divorce going on, and it's so many options that everybody think there's something better out there now. Cheating and side chicks and side guys is so common now. All of that plays into the role of why marriage has not been valued the way it should be, and why I don't think men today understand what marriage is.
okay. And just lastly, like, what are three things, like top three things you look for in a man that you would want to marry?
A man that has his own. Um, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not trying to change a man or anything. So a man that knows what he wants, already got what he wants, already knows what he wants. That right there is cool. I've dated the fine guys, the athletes. I've done all that in my 20s and early 30s. So, right now it's not about just looks and, how we used to, maybe sex used to keep us around. But it's more so someone that we on an even playing field, so we can keep moving forward. I'm not in that place no more to help a guy get a job anymore. I've done all of that, done the resumes. I don't want to do that no more. So, if you could call me picky, which I've been told that, with some of my girlfriends, but you just get a certain place in your life now that I'm 42. It's like, I need somebody that just on a shit. So, cause I'm on mine and I just want to have fun, travel, have great sex. I don't have any kids, but I don't mind if I've always wanted to only have a kid with my husband. So, I've been very careful throughout my life on who I chose to have a kid with. And it's going to always be someone that we made decisions together. So if I'm with I meet a guy, usually, because I date older guys, they usually are done having kids. So, it's like a treat when they meet me. And then some of them, they still want me to have a kid. And it's like, okay, well, but I'm not just about to get pregnant by boyfriends. So when I know about a man, I want a man that knows what he wants. I don't want somebody that's like, as soon as they get around me, they just talking about getting pregnant, having kids. It's like, let's be realistic. We grown. Like, why we, so I pay attention to conversation. And then I pay attention to how you carry yourself. You have to dress nice. You have to smell good. If you don't have good hygiene, I'm completely turned off. That could be picky too. So,
Okay.
Chanel, you
yeah.
said you said that he was an alcoholic. What do you mean by that?
Well, he drank every day. He drank every night. I was too young to notice the signs that he was an alcoholic, like that it was a problem. We moved fast. Like he moved in with me 2 weeks after I met. We fell in love. Moved in with me 2 weeks after we met. He proposed to me 6 months. And when he proposed to me, I was kind of like in that phase, like, man, this dude. By that time, I realized he's drinking too much. His friends were calling me in the middle of the night or in the morning. Hey, just letting you know, he's at my house. We had to fight him for the keys. He would come home with busted lips, clothes ripped up. He tried to fight my uncles before because they kept calling me big head, which I grew up being called big head, but he just didn't want my uncles to do it. So I've got all of those violent behaviors. He's left me at the gas station in the middle of the night, took my person phone. So I went through a whole lot with him. And then, of course, eventually he put his hands on me. So then it was kind of like, all right, this is kind of going too far. So I grew up, I had one uncle. I don't have drug addicts in my family or anything, but I had one uncle that was an alcoholic, and it was my favorite uncle. And I watched that happen. He's functional, going to school. My ex-husband was a functional alcoholic. He went to work every day, dressed nice, wore suits. There's books that people have wrote about him. So it was hard for me to navigate and try to look at it as it was an issue. It was kind of more to me, he a grown ass man. He can drink when he want to. Like I'm not gonna pick with him at that. Oops, sorry.
How old were you when you met him and then got married to him?
I met him when I was 25. Got married to him when I was 26. Divorced him when I was 29. And to this day, he still tell people that I'm his wife.
Okay.
All right. Luis, before I go to you, Balance, Luis, just want to ask you real quickly, what would it take for a woman to win your heart for you to get on their knee and propose to her?
I think for me, it's really reciprocation and being in alignment. For me, is really big. Because I've always said, like, there's a lot of beautiful women out here, but not every woman is for you, and sort of just making sure that you both have the same value systems, the same views on family, right? The same conversations about the things that you care about, and just having that kind of intimate bond, right? I find that a lot of people, when we have these conversations, I always wonder and sit back, like, how often are people talking about the things that really move them, like their heart, their real spiritual. And I know what moves my eyes, but also what also moves my heart as well. So I think those two components, have to be both in alignment.
All right. I'll rock with it. Balance, coming to you. Why he's not ready? What are your thoughts about it?
I don't really have much to add to this topic. I mean, everything Hank said, I agree with. And this is, I think, a question more for a man anyway. Why? Because men know men, and men know why they're not ready. So that's a question for men. But Hank, if I had to answer it, whatever Hank said, I agree with 1,000%. So I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just ask a follow up question. How would you know if a guy is actually ready? Because there's a lot of men out there that will propose easily, because they think they're ready. But how do you actually know if he's like for real about what he's trying to do in his commitment?
That's a great question. I would say 100% ignore everything he says and just watch his actions. There's no reason for a man to tell me what he is or what he's going to do. I'm going to watch his actions, how he's lived his life. Like, has he saved for anything? Is he living paycheck to paycheck? Does he have a home? Does he have a car? Does he pay his bills on time? Is he alcoholic? That's a real thing. Does he have to smoke weed every single day just to get through the day? Like these are real things that I'm gonna see by spending quality time with you. I don't have to ask you those questions because a man will say anything. A person, because I don't want to turn into a gender war. A person can say anything, but I'm gonna see your actions from day to day, how you live your life. If you have children, do you take care of your children? How often? Do you pay child support? Like what's that relationship like with the mother? Like I have to see the ins and out of how you live your life day to day. Are you a healthy person or do you just eat Popeyes and McDonald's every day? Like I want to know that because I'm not trying to change diapers when you're 55. I'm not. I'm being honest. Do you go to the gym? Because if you have diabetes and then the insulin and then I have to do all that work because you didn't take care of yourself. Now I'm taking care of a grown man. Like all of that factors in. So it's like, do you have a healthy mindset, healthy lifestyle? Are you spiritual? Do you take care of your kids? Do you take care of your house? Are you dirty? All of those things you could see just by spending quality time with the person, and that will tell you what you need to know.
Balanced.
Yeah.
What age do you
Oh,
think
don't
a man?
start asking crazy questions now.
I'm not. I'm not. It's not crazy.
Go ahead.
At what age do you think a man should have his shit together where he knows most of that?
To be honest, the age I think is going to be different from the age I think men actually have it. I would hope they have it by 30, but realistically, that's not what I've seen on a large, case. It's like I see men maybe 40 is what I've seen.
So
But
you saying that
they would have
40,
30.
40 will probably is to you is the optimum age for them to be in the mindset of knowing what marriage is and wanting to be married and having all of that in place?
30 is, but
30?
realistically, I don't see a lot of 30-year-olds walking around with the mindset, with the finances, with the mentality of marriage. That's not what you see in 30-year-old men today. They at the club.
So
You got another one?
I'm gonna ponder on that for a second.
But it does seem to resonate with where we are today. If the consensus is that we think that a man at 30 should have his stuff together, but the reality is it's more like 40. And if we go back in time, right, maybe 25, 30 years ago, that they should have their stuff by 25 is looking more like 30. And then even before then, like you could graduate high school and have an amazing job, full benefits, pension. You could raise a family off of that. We're far from that, and sort of the goalpost has been moved out further and further. So it's no surprising that a long time ago, a man could get married at a young age and raise a family, etc. And then that has shifted until that man isn't ready until between 30 to 40, right? It's just where we are today. And I think if we continue the course, that's just going to get pushed out even further to the point that it's like, no, it's not, there's no point.
Yeah, because I personally don't see you make it to 40 years old. If we're saying that 40 is the realistic number for when men are in a mental mindset and the position to be married, and there's really no point of marriage.
I disagree.
No, I disagree. Like, I feel like I feel like it has a lot to do with your experiences too. I feel like in your 20s, that's when you make the most mistakes, right? That's when you do things, even if it's for some reason you got garnished for the first time for a check. You've been through some stuff in your 20s. You've made mistakes. You probably got married and got divorced. In your 30s, by the time you get to your 30s, you kind of been through it. You should have been through enough where you're making sound decisions. Well, you know, if you want to get married, you know, you're looking at women not just objectively, but looking more about based on your experience. I don't want no chick that's gonna always want some money for shoes and hair. I want somebody that, you know, like so 20s. I think by 30 it is too early because you're making a lot of mistakes in your 20s.
It don't take 20 years to figure that out.
No, it don't. But I feel like when you're young and you're in your 20s and you're experiencing life, you know, that yeah, in your 20s it's too early for me.
To me, that's ridiculous. You're gonna experience life because you're living. Life happens. When you hit 40, that's a whole nother set of circumstances you're gonna deal with. You're gonna deal with death. You're gonna deal with sickness. You're gonna deal with you may make 20-year-old mistakes, but now you're saying, all right, at 40, now that you done got past the 20-year-old mistakes, now you're gonna have to deal with a whole nother set of circumstances that come with being 40 plus years old, going to go see the doctor because, you know what I mean, going to go have your prostate checked out there's a lot of other stuff.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not saying that wait till 40 to get married. In your 30s, that's when you've gotten married. By the time you're 40, your shit's together, meaning you might have already been married by the time you're 40. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying like, oh, now you're at 40, let's start moving forward on some life decisions. In your 30s, you've been to the point where probably by the time you're 40, you pretty much should have your shit together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that comes with that's the problem is everybody doesn't know how to walk through life with each other. That's how we ended up here where men and women starting to wind up on two opposite sides of the spectrum in every category, politically, emotionally, socially. We're on two different because we don't grow together. We live our lives separately, and then we hit 40, and then we expect us to understand one another. That's not how life works. You're supposed to grow with one another. You're supposed to experience life with each other. You don't experience life by yourself for 30 years and then say, all right, well, now I'm ready to spend this with somebody else because that person done lived their whole entire life by themselves and you don't live your entire life by yourself. And now y'all trying to figure out how to mash both of these two completely separate lives together. That's why I'm like, it don't take 20 years. It don't take 10 years to figure out how to get your shit together. Well, I say 2 years after college, you should know what direction you're going in and find somebody to go in the same direction as you.
But Sweeney, sometimes it takes people a lifetime to get that shit together. Not everybody's the same. So it depends on your household, how you came up. So if I came up in a 2-bedroom household, and that's what I've seen ever since I came out the womb, and that's all I know. Guess what? More than likely, early in my life, I'm going to be looking at marriage as a main focus, as my thing to do. A young lady, a daughter will do the same thing. She's going to look, I want what my dad and my mom has. I want what my parents has as early as possible, as soon as possible, because it looks beautiful. It looks well put together. It looks organized. If you come from dysfunction, you're going to see the dysfunction. You're going to see your daddy getting into the arguments with your mom over getting money to you, or when you're going to come pick up your son, or when you're going to come pick up your daughter. You're going to see it. Then you're going to think to yourself, I don't want that bullshit. And if that's what it is, and that's what it turns to, you can have that shit.
But that's why.
But it depends on the way you come from. Depend on your lifestyle you lived and where you was raised. That's what I'm saying. So it could take to 40 before somebody realized, yeah, maybe I slept on marriage. Maybe marriage is good. I was seeing bad examples. I was seeing bad options, and that's just not what it really is. It could be something better than that. That's what happened with me. My dad. It wasn't until my dad got married the second time where I said, okay, damn. I guess marriage is not that bad. I guess getting married again, even though I failed the first time, it's not that bad. Maybe it is a chance that I can do it again. I see other people being successful on their second marriage. Why can't I? Why can't I do the same thing? Why can't I give my kids the example that I wanted and that I should have did the first time, but I didn't do?
But that's the thing. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is that it don't take 40 years to figure that out. There's living examples in your life every single day of, we don't go by that creed in no other area, but when it comes to dealing with one another. Every other area, you expected to get your shit together when it comes to jobs, when it comes to health, when it comes to production. You're expected to know this shit within a fraction of years. And we're saying, in order for us to deal with another human being that you might not really know what to do until 40 years later.
Hey, Sweeney, just to kind of, and I 100% agree with what you're saying. And I think two things can be happening at the same time. I believe that what Hink and Chanel is speaking to, it does exist. And the question is, we should be asking is, why does it exist? And it exists because we're not taught that at an early age. So people are experiencing and learning out the hard way, getting that tough love. And then they find out later when they in their 30s and 40s, like, man, life and just went by. All my friends around me are married. Everybody's traveling, and I'm sitting here alone, still trying to figure it out, still trying to get into my career. So it is valid that you do speak that to the people that's grown now and say, hey, it's not too late. Like, this is what you could have done, but unfortunately it's too late. So if you got some children or some kids, maybe you can teach them these lessons, or maybe you can start to teach them, because maybe you have not begun because this is your first time hearing about it. So I think what you're saying is correct. But
I'm not saying to tell the people who are 40 years old that there is no hope. What I'm saying is that I don't think the message should be, hey, you ain't gonna learn until you're 40. No, there's a way to figure all this out before 25. And that's what I think, that because we're trying to talk to people who haven't made it there yet. And I'm not saying, hey, tell the people that are 40 that, hey, it's too late for you. All I'm saying is that the message that we're putting out, it should be, hey, no, you should be able to figure this out by 25. And you should be married, you know what I mean? You should be married with kids by 30. Couple of them. And have a decent paying job. Both of y'all have a decent paying job and get y'all ass down through life. Find somebody early and get through life, rather than telling people, hey, look, it's going to take you to about 35 to get it.
But you got to understand, like, people are...
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You have to understand that life is life, and also, Sweeney. So when people are deciding, even in their teens and their 20s, they want to get married, I've seen both ends of the spectrums. I have friends that got pregnant in high school, married, and friends that got pregnant in college, got married. They've been with that person young, all through their 20s and their 30s. Boom. Now in their late 30s, they done grew older. They got different things they want in life. They grew and did life together and grew apart because of the experiences they had in their 20s, the experiences they had in their 30s. So it's all kinds of reasons why when someone gets to 40, whether they're sitting together or not, but it has a lot to do with the decisions they've made when they were young. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, but the idea of being with someone from a young age, even married, right? It's like, I've heard this before, like, oh, I married young, I missed out in life. I was like, but did you really though? You built all these memories, you did all these things, built all these memories, created this beautiful family, you know what I'm saying? Have done all these things with this person and established and built this life. And then you get to 40, 42, and then you're like, I just want to live my life as if you were a 22-year-old, right? And you walk out here and you see this swamp that everybody's trying to walk through, and you quickly realize that it's not giving what you thought it was giving. And sort of now you're quickly turning around and trying to recant your decision. Like, the grass isn't greener on the other side. I keep saying that. The grass is only green on the side in which you water and nurture it. And a lot of people got to realize that they don't do that. They'll end up seeing a lot of dead, empty brown grass.
Yeah, but the best thing that we can do is just really highlight the pros and cons based off our experience. You can't force anybody to do to make them get married, to make them do this. You can just say, hey, based off what I experienced and what I've seen, you can highlight it for them so they're able to make that decision. Because I agree with Sweeney, but it's all about balance, because like Chanel, she's sitting on both sides where people got together young. But my question would be to them is like, did you have the proper understanding of what a marriage entails before you got married, so you can know what you were going to endure throughout this, so that you guys didn't grow apart? Like, were you guys communicating well? There's so many different variables that could have possibly been fixed on the front end, or even while they was going through those challenging moments where it couldn't end in divorce. So that's why we got to always ask the question as to why. And every situation is going to be different. It could be one thing that just throws off that person's entire fail, like in a marriage or in a relationship. So I think that just always putting information out there and giving people the option, understand that there's consequences. And I always say that spectrum. What side of the spectrum you want to be on? You want to be on the more riskier side or more up on the less riskier side? Like, there are more cons to, if you keep experiencing and keep failing at different stuff, you have more trauma, and it's probably going to be difficult for you to build and to bond with somebody the later you wait. But then we also got to look at how they vetting. Y'all, it's just so many. You got to sit down and it's a case by case and figure out what's going on with this person individually. The older they get, to try to get them on the path to get married, if that's what they want to do.
I think it might also have
the average 25-year-old who's raised up in a single parent home should be ready to marry and take care of a family. No, they're not. Sweeney, they could barely take care of themselves. So if you can't take care of yourself, why would you pull another person in that you can't take care of? They have a disagreements on 50-50, one pot. Your money's your money and my money's my money. What makes you think they're going to do this? These 2024 ladies, these young men and these young women, they're not thinking like that. They're individualistic. They're not thinking as a collective mindset, because that's not what they saw. That's not what they saw. When they walk in a household, they don't see daddy there. They don't see mama there. They see mama and that's it. And some Negro who comes by and fucks on his mama every once in a while. That's what they see. That's not a relationship. That's not a marriage.
What so why not teach and show them at 20?
Hold on, Sweeney. What type of example do you think they plan on going to get from that? They're not. They're going to follow suit. They're going to do the same thing. Well, I guess it's okay. My mama's just getting screwed on, so I'm just going to get screwed on and have a baby by this man who's not my husband, and just live life. And they think that's some type of relationship. That's not. Not once it's going to be successful. Not in the long haul.
So why not just teach them at 20 or 17 or 18 and show them? I think that's.
Well, at that point, they're at the house. At that point, they moved on.
If she's not seeing an example, how are you going to show? You show with your actions. Your words don't mean shit. You show with your actions. If
I get that.
You can't support a family. If you can't maintain a husband, or a husband can't maintain a wife, what are you showing them?
So you're talking about the parent. I'm talking about, why don't we show them? Why don't we give them examples? Well, you said personally that these 25-year-olds ain't ready. Then show them. Go out there and show them. Hey, you want to know how LeBron James learned how to be a father and a husband? You think he learned that from his mama? No, he learned that from his coach. He lived with his coach for a couple of years while he was being coached, I think through 8th grade, maybe high school. And he learned how to be a father and a husband from his coach. He didn't learn that from his mother. So
you recommend that people single parents to send their kids off to someone else? Is that what you're saying, Sweeney?
I didn't say that. Did I say that? I said, why can't we?
You said LeBron James stayed with his coach, so he stayed with someone else. Someone else raised him for a period of time. Is that what you? Is that?
I'm saying that there got to be a better solution than telling them to wait till 40.
Who said to say wait till 40? Nobody said
that. No one said wait till 40.
I'm not even saying. I'm just saying that there got to be a better solution than 40 is the age that they figure it out. I don't think they figure it out at 40 either. That's why you got a bunch of 40-some-year-olds not getting married. They still think the same way that they did at 25. That mindset don't change over time. All you do is learn how to be by yourself longer. And by 40,
I think that's why also why the cheating rate is so high, because a lot of people made those decisions in their 20s and got married again, growing, meeting people, where they got a career and they started their business and met somebody that just blew their mind. They've been with the same. I have a twin sister. She got pregnant right after we graduated from high school. She stayed with the same guy the whole time. She's in her 20s. And like Louis said, all my 20s, I traveled, I did all kind of stuff. She still went to grad school, got her degrees with me and everything. Now we 30, 40s, and she going on vacation, she doing stuff like she 20. And it's just like, I done all of that before, but she didn't do that when she was in her 20s. She was taking care of my nephew, going to school, getting degrees. She grew. And when she looked up, her baby daddy was doing the same thing when they was 19. And she was like, this ain't nothing like my uncles and my granddaddy. Like, dude, you gotta do something. That's growing.
So I don't see how that correlates with people being able to move through life together. I don't,
because men grow too.
All right.
And men decide to cheat, you know what I'm saying? And they, and if they didn't do that exactly, but if they didn't experience that in their 20s because they made decisions too early, prematurely, immaturely, and then they grow up and they realize sex ain't the whole time they was with this person for years is because the sex was great and they knew each other and was comfortable. They get to 30 and they just make a decision.
Most people don't cheat. Most of them don't cheat. And I don't think it's proper to say, hey, if you get married young, then you're going to cheat later because you missed out on life.
I said that's why I'm just going by my experience and the people that I know, people that my friends that I grew up with in the hood, all of my male friends that made those decisions early. And now they're mature and 30 and 40 years old, been divorced, went through a whole lot of stuff. They made those decisions early because we grew up in, where gender roles, we grew up back when our grandparents and our family was there. So we did that stuff early. And then those situations, like I said, life happens. And yeah, sometimes by the time you're 30, you done been through so much stuff, you're making changes in life. You're not going to sit up. A lot of people, men and women, are not sticking together, like you said, anymore because they don't want to ride it out no more. They don't realize, look, I'm off this train. I've made some mistakes. Some people live with it and be unhappy all through their 30s and 40s and 50s. Now people are making decisions earlier. Like, just cut the cord now.
Which goes to my original point. Then if by 40, this person done been married and here, and you were single till 40 and here, and both of y'all wind up in the same damn space, then what the hell is the point of marriage then? Because y'all basically saying, hey, we're going to get the same results regardless. Is basically a 40-year-old single person that's either burned from marriage or burned from singlehood.
Well, I said before, sometimes people that have not been married before, they have an unrealistic idea of getting married. After you've been married before and you've gone through a divorce, you definitely not jumping up and doing that again. Or if you've seen someone that's been through that at a young age, you definitely not signing up for that early. So again, it still goes back to the experiences that you've had.
So, and this is the thing, because we base a lot of our movement and our intentions off of, and I understand why, but the same way that you can see a terrible example of marriage and say, man, fuck that shit, is the same way you can look at a great example of marriage and say, all right, I can do that.
Hey, Sweeney, you have a tendency a lot of times to hijack the show and take us off topic for a very long time. So I kind of do want to wrap up this point because let's just agree to disagree. Sweeney, what age did you get married?
I got married at 30, but I've been with my wife since I was 21 years old.
Oh, so that's amazing. That's a long time. So like, why don't you, as somebody successful in marriage, teach the younger generation, since a lot of people don't have your success and you're one of the people that do, then you should be out here teaching people, right? That's
why I'm speaking so highly of getting married young. That's the reason why I said that. There's a way to work out situations with people. I don't think that
the course that you have or something to teach people.
No, I don't have a course.
Good. You should, because I think a lot of people are in need of what you have to teach. Instead of saying, why don't we do it? Why don't we do it? You should do it. You're the pro.
It's just a question to us saying that that we're looking at an entire group of people and saying that most of those people ain't ready until 40. I don't think that's true.
Well, then you should teach them. That's all I'm saying.
Who said they're not ready to 40. Who said 40? Why do you keep using that number?
Because Balance said realistically, she says that she thinks that everybody should be ready by 30. But in her life, she sees that people are not ready until 40.
Men.
That's why I'm basing it off of.
Men.
So Sweeney, was you ready by 40?
I'm 34.
No. Was you?
I'm 34. Yes.
I understand. God damn, dog. But you didn't wait till 40 to get it done, though, right? So I didn't wait till 40 to get it done. I got mine when I was 29. My first marriage was 29. So no, it's different situation for different people. Now maybe some of the experience with the Balance scene, these dudes that just ain't ready at 30. They should, but just not. And maybe it took them to 40. I told you, man, people get ready at different phases of life. Not everybody's the same. Again, if you had examples in your family, in your own household, let alone, of seeing somebody getting married young, like you hear about your grandfather and grandmother, they getting married at 17 and 19, that's unheard of. There's no way you would go out here in 2024 seeing that happen. It's not going to. They're not doing that. So you got to go by what it is. Now, look, my example, what I could teach my son about getting married, I'm doing it now. I'm gonna be a life living example. I explained to him the mistakes that I made in my marriage. I had to admit to my son why me and my ex-wife was divorced. I was the reason. It was my fault. I failed the marriage. I explained to his son. So now he knows, okay, Daddy taught me you don't need to be doing this. You don't need to be out seeking outside of a relationship type of friendships or intimacy or none of that shit. That's not the thing to do. Stay within the marriage. Whatever it is, you work it out between you and your wife. And if you need a third party, go get a counselor, whether it's a spiritual counselor or medical counselor, whatever the case may be. Do what you need to do. I had to teach my son that, even though it's embarrassing and then I felt some type of way when I did it. I had to get past that and had to share that with him so he could know marriage is not that bad. Not as bad what some people may say or what people may put out there on social media.
I mean, I get what you're saying, right? Kids don't have to grow up in single parent households. We choose for them to. That's a choice that we're all making. You make the choice to break up with the person you made children with, to leave the person, to divorce the person that you made children with. And then not only that, but then you make the choice to remain single going forward. Like, you can choose, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't learn marriage because of what happened between my biological father and my mother. I learned marriage and relationship because my mother got remarried to my stepfather. And that's all. Like, you can still go out and actively make choices to put your kids in a better situation than, like, they don't have to learn single parenthood. But we make those choices and then we look at them and say, oh, well, they ain't gonna be ready because of the shit that we did.
But that's reality, though.
I understand that Sweeney's. I know it's reality, but what Sweeney's saying is that it doesn't have to be reality for some if they push a certain message at an early age and they live by example at an early age. So that's all Sweeney is saying. I think under Sweeney. So what I've learned is to appreciate people that have done it correctly and not to take it personal, right? Because without them, then how can we really find balance in everything we see in life? If everybody was the same, then would nobody be growing because everybody's the same. So I always appreciate people that push a certain message. And I do understand that certain people like have to hear it a certain type of way. But if you read between the lines and like look past that, I can understand what he's saying. Like, he's basically saying that if we had a choice to push a message, what message would you be pushing? And I think you guys want Sweeney to understand that also, that a lot of people may not have the opportunity to hear that. So when they grow older like this, if they had a choice, it probably came a time where they could go back and be like, man, if I could do it all over again, I would have done this. And all Sweeney is doing is just trying to eliminate them fails so that we can try to restore some order when it comes to relationships. So I don't think anybody's really saying anything wrong. I just think it's different flavors, different perspectives for people to be able to digest it however they need to digest it. And hopefully it's hitting home for some folks. We're gonna move on to the next topic. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Um, Seeking partnership in a godly way. Seeking partnership in a godly way. Here we go.
In a relationship with someone, do you believe in a 50-50 household?
I believe what God says
Yes.
on how to be in a relationship. The thing is, your preference is your preference. Most people don't look at Proverbs 31 and see what a virtuous woman is.
Yes.
They even see the word work
Yeah.
out of a woman. It's like, oh, nah, like, okay, nah, I don't believe in the Bible. It's like a virtuous woman.
She up early. She goes to sleep late.
Literally, a wife is a gift from God. He who findeth the wife findeth the good thing. But the problem with that phrase in itself, to people's understanding, women think that's right. The man is supposed to pursue. The man is supposed to do this because, you know, he who findeth the wife findeth the good thing. You're supposed to already be wife-like before you're being discovered. That's why God tells you, like, hey, women, before you get married, this is how you're supposed to act. So that way, if a man walks out and he sees you, you're already a good thing that I've sent. But if a man has to go out to, I got to pay for this day, I just think logically, like, hey, I ain't got it like that. And the fact that you're putting these expectations on the first date is crazy.
But I'm not talking about the first date. I'm talking about bona fide, qualified. You love this woman. Do you want to have a 50-50 household with the bills? Not dates, not gifts, not trips.
With the bills.
With the bills.
It depends on what you both do for a living. Because if I'm a billionaire, what else I'm gonna do with the money? But I'll ask you this, or the women out here.
Okay.
What are you doing with your time before you even get married?
Yeah.
What are you doing with the money, the hair salon you've been trying to put together, the little daycare you running, the little hustling on the side? You done made all this money. You done went to hair school and all this extra stuff. Where's all that money going once you get married? Because now it's like, hey, if you're making more than your husband, logically, it just makes sense to, okay, well, I'll take care of this, or you take care of this. But men get looked at as what the Bible says, you guys are supposed to be the provider. Then what are you supposed to do? I'm just supposed to sit here and look pretty. You not even pretty. Like, all that stuff is, you do know I wake up to you. Okay. I sound triggered, but I'm not triggered. I promise you I'm not triggered. It's just like the thought process of like this whole 50-50, like who goes what on the bill. Somebody better pay something, or it ain't gonna be nothing to go half and half or hold on.
Damn.
You're on mute.
Yeah, I know. I just realized seeking partnership in a godly way. I'm gonna go to you first, Winnie, because when I heard this, I was thinking about some of the perspectives that you speak on, as far as like people just being real and just reality off of the internet. Like people are coming together and they doing what they got to do in order to make sure that they provide for their household, however that may look. So I'm gonna go to you first, seeking partnership in a godly way. What are your thoughts about what he said?
Not gonna lie, don't know much about the godly way. Because, you know, while I may identify as Christian, I don't actually practice the faith the way that one should. So I believe in God or whatever, but I just move normal. I got with my wife. We had to get shit done. We had kids. She had a kid before me. So I got with her. And did I necessarily know what that meant when she moved in with me, when we got together? No. But we grew together. We had my son. And it was just constant moving forward, constant goal making, constant just getting through life. I love this woman like she I don't know, is get with somebody and get through life. All like this like, and the thing is that when you talk to real people, this is the reality. This is the reality when you talk to real people. Most people do with one another. They do what's necessary to get the house going, to keep the house together. Depending on how much you work in or outside the house is how much you're going to do in the house or how much you're going to do outside the house. This is most people. So why is it that we have these conversations on a regular basis about what should or shouldn't have to, what should or shouldn't go, when in reality, you got to live. Bills need to be paid. You got to live. That's why I was trying to explain to Chanel. Life happens your entire life. The entire life. I just, my wife just lost her best friend less than a month ago. Or no, about a couple months ago. I just lost my uncle a couple months ago. Life gonna happen your whole entire life. Find somebody to get through life with and do what's necessary to keep it together.
All right, I'm gonna go to you, Balance. What are your thoughts about what he said, seeking a partnership in a godly way?
Okay, so I feel this way about a lot of men on social media, that the men should be speaking to the men. I find on social media a lot of times the men want to speak to the women a lot. And it's like, if you guys highly respect marriage, like men say they do, and it's usually single men talking, but they talk about how they respect marriage so much. They should, if they do, they should be married or seeking marriage, and they should be teaching men the same thing. Like, I don't understand why constantly we have single men trying to tell women how to be wives. It's very odd. Like, honestly, just logically, it's odd. A single man can never teach a woman how to be a wife. So I don't understand the purpose of these podcasts. I don't understand the purpose of these men telling women how to be wives. I mean, are there moms' wives? Do they have wives? I think men should talk to other men about how to be great husbands, and they should be practicing how to be a great husband. That's really how I feel about it.
Okay. Um, I got a question, a follow up question. Do you think that men that have been divorced, do you think that they're qualified to speak on marriage?
100%. I love listening to Hank speak. I love listening to his experiences, what he learned. He's a man that has been divorced. He owns up to his mistakes, as a man should. Like, just to get some men to do that is hard. Like, just to say it was my fault, right? It takes a real man to do that, to have the strength to say, my marriage felt because I did this, it was my fault, but I want to do better this time. I want to be that example for my children and do it correctly this time. That's what a man should be doing. Like, he shouldn't be on here talking about a woman should be a wife like this. That's weird. Like, I don't know any men that can teach a woman how to be a good wife. Like, as a leader, you lead her. You lead her, okay? So that means do your part, not tell her how to do hers, but do yours well. And her mentors and her mother should be teaching her how to be a wife. If it's not her biological mother, it should be a spiritual mother. Somebody teaching her that is a woman and a wife from experience, not a man telling a woman how to be a wife. But yeah, men that have been divorced are great. They have a plethora of experience. And I think, especially if they have the desire to do it right this time, they're great teachers. And they should be teaching other men.
Balance, you know why these spaces exist now? Like the
What
underlying reason? You want to know the underlying reason why, like
what is this?
the YouTube space where like all of these podcasts have been birthed from?
Go ahead, tell me.
Because women asked.
Women ask men to tell them how to be wives?
No, women ask men, why aren't they insert thing? Why aren't men doing this? Why don't men love us? Why don't men and men began to explain. And now, granted, I'll agree with you. There are some spaces out here that are very toxic, but the overarching reason why they all exist is because we were asked. Even if you go on TikTok right now, they're asking that one of the biggest complaints is why all these singles events are 95% women and why aren't men showing up? Why aren't men asking women on dates anymore? Why aren't men approaching? Why aren't men getting married? Why aren't men committing? Why aren't men this? And y'all used to do it in books that we didn't read, like Cosmopolitan magazine and all that shit. But once y'all went to YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and started asking these questions, we saw the questions, so we was like, all right, well, let's answer it.
It's a difference though between asking a man why he's not married or ready for marriage and asking him how to be a wife. Those are two very different things.
Well, if you ask somebody, hey, why aren't you doing this thing for me? And they say, well, I'm not doing this thing for you because you're not this. Why aren't you getting married? Because you're not a wife. Well, what is a wife? Well, to me, a wife is XXXXX.
But why are you telling a woman that's not married that she's not a wife? Like, I don't understand this part. You know, and I hear guys say that, you know, for actually, like, to answer a question that was asked earlier, like, when is a sign you can tell when a guy is not ready? I met a guy, I was dating him, and I usually never friend guys that I date on social media. But that was the first time that I went ahead and, you know, dated him off of Facebook. And we had a lot of mutual friends. And some guy commented on my post. I hearted it and said, thank you. And this asshole gonna say to me, a wife wouldn't respond to a guy at all. What? And in my mind, I'm thinking, like, what are you talking about? Like, we ain't married, first of all. But what do you mean a wife wouldn't respond to a guy and heart his comment? To me, I thought that was the craziest thing I ever heard. I was like, you talking about on a social media? My marriage was different. So when I hear stuff like this, I'd be like, wow, no, you not know. Like, if you're gonna pick arguments with me over something like that, you don't know about marriage.
Not only that, but I want to say a lot of times we hear men saying women aren't wives and she's not submissive or she's not this, but do we believe that just because a man is a man, he's a husband?
Nope, y'all call men useless every day.
I don't. I've never called a man useless.
I'm not saying y'all as in you personally. I'm saying y'all as in.
I get it, but I'm speaking for myself, and I was still speaking. But thank you. What I'm saying is, when it comes to a lot of men that we see on these podcasts, what automatically makes them husbands and automatically say that a woman is not a wife? That's the part that's a little strange to me. Like, just like we could say every woman's not a wife, we could say every man's not a husband, right?
Right.
So it makes no sense for us as women and men to be on these social media platforms saying what somebody isn't. How about you take all that energy and go find your person and go find what you're looking for instead of wasting it saying what this woman isn't or what this man isn't? And I'm speaking to both sexes.
Well, then if that's the case, then we might as well, like, I mean, yeah, if we followed your logic, then none of these spaces would exist. But that's kind of what people do. We get online and we have conversations. Just like when I said that women call men useless, I wasn't talking about you per se, but literally on The View, they were up there calling men useless, and that's a nationally syndicated television show dedicated towards women. So the same way
useless to what? What do you mean?
They said that men are useless in general. We have no use.
Useless to women?
Yes.
Useless to marriage?
Useless to women. So
I will have to watch that because The View is definitely very detailed on their objectives. So I'll have to go back and watch that.
They're very left leaning, very far.
But like to the point though is that again, men created this space because we were getting asked why we weren't doing certain things, and we answered the question. Now, and like I said, it's kind of like as you go on, the more questions you ask, the more answers you're gonna get. The reason why they tell you whether you're a wife or not is because they ask, well, why aren't you marrying us? And then they say, well, you're not a wife. And then they say, well, what makes a wife? And then they tell you, hey, to me, this is what makes a wife. And whether you agree with it or not is here nor there. But just like if men started asking women, why aren't y'all sleeping with us? You'll say, hey, because you're not attractive. Well, how do you figure that I'm not attractive? Well, you're not attractive because you're this, that. You're creepy. You this, you're that. You're not asking us the right questions on dates. You're not putting us in the right position. You're not making us feel safe. When we ask questions of women and they answer them, we don't. I mean, some men get upset, but the reality is y'all gonna give a response and y'all gonna tell us exactly what the fuck is wrong with us. Just like if y'all ask us questions regarding things that we don't do for y'all, we're gonna get up and tell y'all what the hell y'all do to us and what's wrong with y'all. It's natural human interaction. The only thing is that this is a public space. I agree with I'm with Chanel that I don't agree with people unsolicitedly walking into people's personal space and just running up on them and saying you're not a wife. That's weird. But in a public space like Lapeef Network or a lot of these podcasts, when you got groups of people that come together and have these conversations about these things, the topics come up because we see people make TikTok videos and social media platforms that go viral, asking a specific question, and then all the men who have podcasts answer the question that went viral, or vice versa.
I just don't understand how. I get it. I get it. I mean, people's perspective is people's perspective. But if you've never been married never been married before, and you come from a single parent home, but you know what a wife is supposed to be, I just think you know what it is you want your wife to be. You know, and when a guy says that's not a wife, because you don't know, you ain't never been married before. I feel like a man that's been married before is very entitled to say what a wife is, because it's going to be based on he was married before. So you kind of assume when you give them that grace that they know what a wife is, not somebody that in their mind, you know, this girl that I'm dating, she needs to show me all the wifely duties right now. She may not even think to see you as a husband. And women follow a man's lead. You know, the way you treat a woman, the way she gonna fall in, do her spot. So she might not be acting like a wife to you because you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. So I don't know.
You think women in general follows a man lead?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they follow him. I think a lot of women specifically follow a man as long as he's doing what she wants him to do. Once he goes left or goes in the direction that she doesn't want to go in, she goes her own direction because she has the means to. That was the whole reason why the feminist movement and all of that happened, was because women said, I want the ability to make my own decisions and move in the way that I want, if I want to move in that way. So the moment she gets tired of following his direction, she's going to go the direction she wants to go in, whether he's going in the right direction or not. Like I had a conversation with a woman last year, and she said that her man was being financially controlling. That's the reason why she left him, when in reality, them two came up with a plan together, a financial plan. She started making more money. He wanted to stick to the plan. She didn't. And she left him because of that. So, like, people move.
Look,
I believe.
Now, go ahead. Sweeney, you gave a good perspective. You and Chanel, man, y'all, I love y'all POV. Shout out to y'all guys. JR, what's the question so we can get back on topic?
We're just talking about seeking partnership in a godly way. Just basically what they were saying on the video. What are your thoughts? Let's get to Hink and then Luis. Then we'll come back around.
So, look, I most of these people can't get along, and yeah, this is going to equate. You expecting a 25-year-old young lady who's always probably been taken care of, maybe by her father and took care of. All of a sudden, she expects to go into a marriage with a young man who's not all the way right yet. Financially, he just doesn't. He doesn't have all this shit together. Mentally, he's there. He's prepared. He can take care of it. But financially, he's just not there yet. And to go into a marriage and better do all of this, and she expects him to pay for everything, and she comes up with nothing because that's what her mother did. You know, the father was the head of the house, so he took care of everything. Now you expect that from me? It ain't gonna happen. So how I do it is how I do it. I don't believe in 50-50. We believe in one pot in my household. And if that's what you believe in and that's what you go off, you need to find you a woman who's about that. And if she's not, don't move on forward with her. Don't proceed with her. Don't continue to involve yourself in a relationship with her. Don't continue to take her out. Don't continue to fuck on her. Don't continue to have no type of issue dealing with her, because it's not what you're really looking for. Because you're going to try to con her, negotiate her, and she's not moving off that. She doesn't believe in it. You need to let it be. Now, if you meet a woman who may first thought about that, no, I don't believe in putting my money together, but you can have a conversation and have her understand, okay, break it down to her to the point where she can understand and she can get with it, then she's a good woman and she's got a lot of potential. But if she's not going to move off her square, and this is what she said, no, I'm not going to do this. I don't believe in it. My money's my money. Your money's your money. Then you move on. There's no need you to keep elongating the pain. Ain't no need you keep messing around with her because you're wasting your time. It's not what she wants. If she's not for gender roles, she's not what she wants you to do. She wants you to clean the house and do all this, and you know that's not how you was raised, how you was born, and you're not willing to move off that, then she need not move with you, or you need not move with her. I believe in gender roles. I believe in one pot. That's what I believe in, and those were some of the hard questions that I had to ask and vet the woman. Well, I don't even call it vet, interrogate. Because that's exactly what I did. I interrogated. I need to know your financial status by the third The third day, I want to know your credit score. And I want to know, can you go out and get you a home if need be? Without my income or nothing, I need to know that. Because my income's going to pay for this house. It's going to pay for everything. But guess what we're going to do with your income? We're going to use that income to invest in things. That's what we're going to use for. We're not just going to let it just sit around and collect dust in your account, because I don't believe in your account. It's our account. If I'm marrying you and I'm blessing you with my goddamn last name, we come together as one. If you're going to give me your goddamn DNA and your body, then you give me that damn paper you got in your bank. Nothing's off limit.
I like what you said, Hank, and I think it's very. You gave a solution to like what all these people are always talking about, right? When it comes to 50-50. And it speaks to what Luis was saying. It's finding somebody that you align with, right? And it starts by asking the correct questions in the beginning and not trying to force somebody to change who they are. You know, people have been like conditioned and brought up in a certain way, and that's just what they believe. And if they can't see the logic in it, then who are you to try to force them? Because you're just going to go down this hole where it's probably not going to work because they don't have understanding and or they don't see the logic in what you're saying. But my question to you is, do you feel that a man should make more than a woman, or are you okay with a woman making more and them being able to bring the incomes together still and just make it happen?
It shouldn't matter. If she makes $5,002 more than I do, it shouldn't matter. We won. Doesn't matter. We put our money together, and we're gonna look. I make $70,000. She makes 65, or she makes 75, and I make 55. We coming together. We're gonna put that little $130,000 $30-some together, and we're gonna do the best we can with that. We're gonna have and make this thing work. All 130,000 of it. That's what we're gonna do. Because please believe you me, when y'all decide, or if y'all decide, Lord forbid, that y'all get divorced, all that money's gonna be pounded together anyway, and it's gonna be split. So don't think it's, oh, I got my money, she just need to keep her. Unless you had a prenup, y'all gonna split that shit anyway. And they're gonna look at it as one lump sum. So look at it however you want to. Bring it as one, work, make it work. If you can't, then she's not the woman for you. She's just not the woman for you. Or vice versa. If the woman's doing that, he's not the man for you.
Okay. Go ahead, Luis.
Yeah, I was going to add to that, Hank. I find that interesting because I don't think that the money component should ruin the relationship, right? Especially if you really are in line with that person and it's only about the money. You can sit down and actually iron out solutions for how to make up wherever that gap may lie, or what are the saving strategies for that relationship particularly. I had a professor who made north of $150,000 a year. And his wife, and he's an architect, his wife is like a scientist and an engineer at MIT. And she made $350,000, right? So she makes like at least $200,000 more. Both really good money. Either way you look at it, 150, 350, really good money. But together, their household is making $500,000 a year, right? And sort of, he had told me a story where they both came to an agreement that he would cover and pay for their children's tuition, right? For their schooling, college, etc. And that's what he was tasked with doing. Like, that's what he was going to do. And she would cover all the other bills. Like the mortgage, cars, etc. She would take care of that as long as he covered the college tuition for both their children. And it ended up working out for them because they understand we both make really good money, although one person makes significantly more money because they're in a particular specialty field or area, right? That doesn't mean that the relationship should be dissolved. There are solution ways of kind of making it seem very equitable, but still not really dilute the hierarchy in the relationship. You're still the husband, you're still this other person. It's just that their careers have put them in different part situations in terms of their potential incomes, right? And sort of, I don't really like how people kind of sometimes, dilute the conversation to just money. because there are other greater components that make that relationship much better than just the money aspect.
Okay, I do want to ask the women, Valence and Chanel, like, are you okay with if you made like $50,000 more than your husband? Would you guys be okay with that?
Yeah. When I was married, I was making more than my ex-husband, and he wanted joint accounts, so our money was going in one account. Unfortunately, when I decided I wanted a divorce, he took all the money. But I was fine with, whatever his paycheck went into the account, and that was that. He knew he wasn't making, enough money to pay all the bills, but I didn't care about that part because we were together. We never discussed financially how stuff was going to get paid. It was just kind of like we put our money together, and I managed all the bills, and that was that. The only other time that I had a situation where I wasn't married, but when I first moved here to Arizona, my first 4 years, I was dating a guy and I moved in with him, and he owned all his cars and stuff. He had his own business, owned his cars. I had car notes. I had two cars, two car notes. Insurance. Hold on a second.
All right, go ahead, Balance.
Yeah. Wait, what you at? Oh, if a woman see, the thing about the conversation is strange to me because we're speaking in such terms of things being so temporary. Like life is continual. One day I could make 20,000 more. The next year he can make more. Like it's gonna fluctuate if you plan on being together for a lifetime. So the question is pointing to me. Like I feel like we're talking about like, are we gonna eat eggs for breakfast? It's so minute. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's not gonna be the same 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Like it doesn't matter who makes more money right now. That's going to fluctuate. I don't know. Personally in my life, I don't know anybody that's only made 30,000 a year and made that their entire lives. And if they did, that should be a red flag. But I'm just saying I don't know anybody that has done that. So to just base a marriage off of how much we're earning in 2024 is silly. We're not going to be earning that next year or the year after. And I also want to add that, and this is why people, they just think so small sometimes to me. Like marriage is such a huge lifetime of a commitment, right? But I also want to say when you're marrying someone, make sure you do have that conversation. I forgot who said it, but make sure you do have that conversation of what you expect in the marriage. If you expect your wife to always do the laundry, y'all need to talk about that before you get married, because maybe in her brain, she's thinking, I'm gonna wash my clothes, you're gonna wash your clothes, and that's gonna be fine. But a man in his mind, he's like, my mom always washed my clothes. I want a wife to wash my clothes, but he never relayed that message to her. So in her mind, she doesn't see it like that. Like a wife is just supposed to do your laundry. Like why? Like, so you have to have the conversation and what you want in your wife and what you want in your husband, and make sure you're on the same page. A lot of people assume that the other person knows what they desire and what they want and what they expect. The expectations kill a lot of marriages. People don't know what's in your brain and what you expect. Like nobody can read your mind. We're not mind readers, men and women alike. Before people try to turn this into a gender war, men and women alike, you have to speak to your spouse or before they become your spouse and say, hey, I like this, I want this, I desire this. How do you feel about that? Can you commit to cooking at least 5 days a week? Can you commit to us traveling at least twice a year? Is this within a budget? Like, have the conversation first instead of getting married and then wondering why you can't agree on money and where you want to live and where you want your kids to go to school. That's a problem. Have the conversation prior. So yeah.
So that's exactly right, Balance, up to what you were saying. Look, that's why I said you need to vet and interrogate whatever woman that you're trying to make your wife, and bless your last name. These questions should have been asked. We should have been talking about money. That's one thing we failed to do. Most people wait till they get into marriage, get into the same house, get into the same residence, and then want to talk about money and how these bills are going to be paid. No, that needs to be talked about then. If you knew your woman is a materialistic type woman, and that's not in your nature, either one or two things need to happen. Either you need to have a conversation with her and try to convince her not to be so materialistic and not to get all the newest name brands, or you need to walk away. Because more than likely, if you can't afford to keep up with her lifestyle, you're going to be in trouble. Now you're going to have to get a goddamn part-time job just to cover that credit card bill because she likes nice things. And her nice things may not be found in the same state and may not be online. She may want to go out of the country to get these nice things. So now what you going to do?
I did have a question for the gentleman.
Part of provision and all that is not just about money. I hate when they always make it like we have to provide. Provide is more about money. I got to mentally protect my woman. I got to mentally protect my lady, my wife. I have to. I got to make sure she's mentally protected because ladies get certain feelings, certain time of month. They feel some type of way. You got to bring her down. You got to calm her down. You got to ease her. When she decides to make a rash decision, just because she's in her feelings or emotions, you got to be the one to be the level-headed person in the relationship, and you got to bring her back to reality. Pull her off the cliff. That's a part of providing for a woman, not just financially only.
All right.
My fault,
Yeah. No, you all good, man. I got a question for the men because as we listen to these panels, we always hear people talking about what they want that woman to be doing. And Hank, I did hear you say you do want a woman that can cook, but like realistically, the gentleman on the panel, do you guys want a woman to be in the kitchen every single day? Do you want her to get the laundry? Do you want her to be cleaning every day? Is that a realistic expectation for the men on the panel?
I don't even think that's a realistic expectation just from a work life, balance of anything. Like, yes, we need to eat every day. So like that has to be a conversation about meal prepping and like when we have dinner and those things. But laundry, like, depends on how much you guys, go through clothes. It might be once a week you just do it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be every day. And there might be days where one person might switch off and they might cook one day. Right? So it just depends on the dynamic and your schedules and your work situation.
Man, I'll start this off by, what are we talking about? Only $100 per week and maybe like $6,000 a year separates black men and black women. That's it. They're making close to nearly what we're making. Like, and neither one of those incomes by themselves is taking care of shit. But when you put them together, you can do a lot. As you look at this chart, that's how most people think when obviously all of us have to work. We live in a country where most people have to work. And this is pretty much the work balance. Depending on the hours you work at work, that's how much shit you're going to do at home. Me and my wife both cook. She cook on Monday. She cook on Sunday and Tuesday. I cook on Monday and Wednesday, and we let the leftovers carry over to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. She does the laundry. I do the dishes. I don't touch the laundry. She hate doing dishes. I hate doing laundry. Like, this is how regular people operate because the reality is both of y'all have to work. There's no way around it. And only $6,000 separate us. Only $6,000 on average. And any tax bracket is probably, a margin of error, maybe 10 or 15. If you're going up into like the $100,000 range, and at that point, does it even really fucking matter? You make more, both of y'all make $100,000. What the hell are y'all complaining about? You make $200,000 a year. But in this real life, real world, we know what we all make on average. And only $6,000 separate us. $100 a week. That's it. And if you dealing with somebody that makes they only makes $39,000 a year, and they got beer and they got champagne taste with beer money. To Hink's point, what the hell are you dealing with them for anyway? But I don't think most people who don't make no damn money got that kind of mindset because they broke. You broke, I'm broke, we broke. Put it together, make something.
Sweeney, they got a thing called hood rich. Yeah, you got some broke motherfuckers try to get. They got people who they call hood rich. Guess what? Come April, they got that money.
You know,
By
the
May and
tax check.
June,
You talk about that
They
tax season,
claim
Marlon.
everything on their taxes. Their nieces, their nephews, their neighbors' kids, the dog.
they don't. I don't look here when I found my and I don't look for no return. I can care less because that's not what I'm not dependent on that. And if it does come, most of the time, 90% of the time, I had to pay. These past
They're
5
just
years,
happy you ain't got to pay taxes.
man, look, I just want to break even. But you got some people who think they hood rich, and they gonna go out and get all the new TVs. Also, they got the new ride in the driveway at the apartment complex. And guess what? 2 months later, repo man come picking that bad boy up. Or they at the pawn shop trying to sell their new 65-inch TV off because they know they couldn't afford it. They couldn't. But people live hood rich. People live above their means, and that's a problem for our, especially folks in our community. We live above our means. We don't want to just get a nice 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment or house. No. We want the 4 or 5 with 3.5 baths with a pool in the back. Knowing we can't afford the taxes on that thing, we probably ain't gonna be able to afford the house payment. But guess what? We're gonna get it anyway. Why? Jane, Joanne, Don, and Clarence got it. So I want it because they got it, and we try to keep up.
You know what, though, Hank? If you think about it, though, people already innately take your advice on that. Because think about it. Think about all the tax season ballers you know in your life, right? The ones that come out during tax season and then they get their shit repo. Are those people ever in any real relationships? Are they ever really? First of all, you already know that they tax season ballers. They probably more than likely single anyway. Because when you marry and both of y'all make income, slim chance that you ain't getting shit back anyway. You ain't getting that child tax credit because you make too damn much together. But when you see people who are tax season ballers, most of them motherfuckers are already by themselves and they ain't got nobody anyway. So people already avoid them because we know that they have champagne taste with beer money. We know that we see those people and they buy the car from the buy here, pay here on April 1st. And it's gone by August 2nd. And they still single and they talk their shit from about February to about May. They talk their shit and then they right back where they were with the GoFundMes and shit like that. By August, those people already get left alone. Most people don't like dealing with people who got champagne taste and beer money. That's just natural.
It's not true.
I feel like
that's not true, bro. Unfortunately, that's not true. And the reason why I say this, because guess what? They looking good while they at the club. They look like they got it. They put on the front like they got it. They dressing like they got it. They talking and spending money like that. But they going home and they sleeping on a mattress on the floor. House is dirtier than a mug. Come on, sweetie, don't act like your cousins ain't like this. You know Uncle Clarence is like that. You know how he lived.
Yeah, and they normally chronically single.
Hey, I think Chanel was trying to say something. Go ahead, Chanel.
I was going back to
my bad.
The point. It's okay. Going back to the point about these 50-50 and all of that. I feel like a man will show you, because I still feel that a woman follows a man lead, and I feel like a man will show you during the dating phase, how he's going to communicate when it comes to moving to that next step. Like I was going to say, the relationship I was in, that was like the first time outside of a marriage where, I moved in with him. He asked me to move in with him. He already knew my status. He already knew I had car notes. He already knew my financial status. I make money, all that stuff. When I moved in, he was just like, okay, well, I'm already paying the rent. I got a sports package that's $300-$400 because I watch the sports. So I'm gonna keep paying that, and he asked, you good on your bills? And I was like, yeah. So we were good. In my mind, all right, ain't nothing else to talk about as far as how we're gonna split bills, because we're not talking about marriage right now. We just talking about living together. He called the shot. He was like, you got way better furniture than me. I'm gonna get rid of this furniture so you ain't gotta pay for storage. We'll use your furniture. Okay. Like he laid it out, and I was just like, and then I was able to start my business while we was together for 3-4 years. Like I was like, we did, like it worked. So he was somebody that I know when we got married, we decided to upgrade or go a house. Yeah, we would have those type of conversations. It wasn't assumed that, he gonna keep paying for everything. He just knew the status of where I was at, where he was at, what he can do, what he gonna do, and he just kind of did it. And it was kind of like, I don't have no objective to that. So I feel like, again, when a man knows what he wants, and he's gonna show you while you dating him, you know, what type of man he's gonna be when he decides to marry you.
All right. Appreciate that, Chanel, you opening up and providing that. I'm gonna get to these super chats and then we'll go ahead and get to the main topic. The legacy $5 says JR, there's a narrative being pushed social media that marriage is no longer the end goal for women. Can the panel elaborate on this narrative?
It's true.
AP Accountability Partner $20 says salute to the panel. My brothers Hink, Sweeney, Luis, and the mastermind Lapeef JR. My sister's balance is Chanel. I hope your day is good so far. Thank you, AP. AP again, $10 says I know he gonna say something crazy later, but Sweeney speaking that real life talk. I wish y'all could really hear him. Balance, dear sister, kind of aggressive today, huh? You okay? Still much love. Gentle man status 499. My wife prior to marriage displayed wife-like characteristics and values before the ring. That was major for me. AP, $10. Why is that a red flag? Balance? Maybe it's not 30K, maybe it's 50K because he's a bus driver and enjoys what he does. Some people are content. It's a red flag for you, maybe. Big Ant 11, $10 says, Hink, take that Eve album down. That's for the thugs, and you ain't no thug.
You do look like Slim Thug, though.
That's my favorite album by her. Hey, I didn't even notice it, bro. I love that album.
All right, hit that like button, family. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I see the chat is very active. Cleveland Williams, Family Business, Scuba Cat, Renelle S. Anderson. This is my first time seeing you. TG, Stay Woke, and Menleek. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. Vince, Jay Prince, I see you, brother. Shannon Duncan. Shout out to everybody in the chat today. Stay woke. All right, let's go ahead and hit this main topic. A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits based on who she is to him.
And think that if I do it more for him, listen, like that, if I pick up his kids, if I give him as much sex as he wants, if I turn him out, if I show him I'm that ride or die chick, I'm that chick, right? Then the more I do, they think that I'm going to get his affection. But that ain't how men operate. And y'all can tell me this. Watch this. A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits to her based on who she is to him. Now watch this. If I look at that same woman and I look at a woman who nurtures me, empowers me, helps me to grow, supports me, all of a sudden the way I look at her brand becomes different. So I put her in a different category.
That nigga on a throat lozenge.
Preacher voice. Go ahead, Luis, man. I'm gonna come to you, man. A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits based on who she is to him. Facts.
Man, I think both things could be true, but I would say this. There has to be a component. I don't know too many women that are just going to sign up only to just pour into a man, and that man does not pour anything into that woman, right? I do agree that she plays a vital role, and I do agree that, you know, the things that he does for her will always be reciprocated, but it's always presented to me in one manner.
Oh, you said
I think man Hink are confused. Yeah, I think man Hink are confused, man.
Well, you gotta speak for yourself, man. Maybe Hink may not be confused. Hink, you confused?
I say the look on his face. When that clip came out, he had the same look I had.
Nah, well, look, I was wanting you to play it again because maybe I misunderstood or I misheard him say something. But if you can't play it again, JR.
I'm not confused that if I do it more.
All right, just let me know when y'all are ready. So
Go ahead, bro.
All right, here we go. We are playing it again. Here we go, family. And 1, 2, 3.
Women think that if I do it more for him, listen, like that, if I pick up his kids, if I give him as much sex as he wants, if I turn him out, I show him I'm that ride or die chick, I'm that chick, right? And the more I do, they think that I'm going to get his affection. But that ain't how men operate. And y'all can tell me this. Watch this. A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits to her based on who she is to him. Now watch this. If I look at that same woman and I look at a woman who nurtures me, empowers me, helps me to grow, supports me, all of a sudden, the way I look at her brand becomes different. So I put her in a different category. Women think that if I do it.
What?
Yeah, even the host was looking like he was confused about what the man was talking about. Like, God damn. What's the difference, though?
Well, I mean, I can tell you.
Right.
I mean, I can tell you how I look at it, right? Because you can have women can do a lot of things for you, but it may not be necessarily what you need or what's good for you. So if a woman is,
You know what? No, I got it, JR.
Okay.
Balance. You remember when you said, why do these spaces exist?
You
remember when you asked that question earlier about why do these spaces exist?
You said you were going to tell me why.
Yeah, he's answering a question. Why aren't these men committing to us? First of all, you're trying to solve a problem. He was trying to give an answer to a problem that shouldn't be a problem. You shouldn't be expecting a non-committed man to commit. So,
and you shouldn't expect a woman that's not married to show how to be a wife.
Wait. That's not where I'm going with that. So, of course, when he says something like you can do because that's what a woman coming in and say is that I cook for him, I watched his kids for him, I did this for him, and he just won't commit to me. And what he's basically trying to answer is, yeah, a man doesn't commit based off of what you do for him. He commits based off of who you is to him. No, he ain't committing because he don't want to commit. You asking a non-committal man who doesn't want to commit to you, you're trying to get him to commit to you. That's a non-starter. He doesn't want to commit. So either accept the role that you have with him or move on. He's trying to solve it. That's why it didn't make sense to me when he was explaining, because I'm like, that don't make sense. You're trying to solve a problem that shouldn't be a problem for a woman. She shouldn't be asking how to get a man that doesn't want to commit to her, how to get him to commit. There's nothing you can do. But a man who wants to commit will see all of those things that you're doing for him and double down on why he wants to commit to you. Damn, man, she does this for me. She does that for me. I already wanted the woman. I already wanted to be with her, but goddamn, she's doing even more than I expected. Hell yeah, I'm going to take this woman. But if he's out there dabbling around, fucking other different women and all that, and he doesn't want to deal, he like, I don't want to commit. I'm happy where I'm at. He's right. Ain't shit you can do that's going to get him to commit to you. But his second part of that don't make sense because you're answering a question that shouldn't even be a question, because you shouldn't be asking a question, because you should know you can't mold stale bread.
Okay. Yeah, I think Sweeney confused me even more. So now, goddamn, shit, Sweeney. Go ahead, Balance. Go ahead.
You guys are so funny today. JR, I don't know what made you pick this particular video, but
I mean, shit, like y'all kind of confused me a little bit because when I heard it, I heard something, but
it sounds good because he sounds like a pastor. But God,
yeah, I mean, but I'm not gonna lie, I had to replay it again, and then I had to replay it again. I'm like, okay, and so what he said was a man doesn't commit to a woman for what she does for him. He commits based on who she is to him. So I took it as though like there are some things that's really important to men, and if a woman is providing value in that aspect, then he's going to look at her in a different light. So she could be doing all the wrong things, but if she hitting on these cylinders when it comes to what it is that he values, then she's going to be in a good place with him, and he may potentially put a ring on it.
This sounds like a crossword puzzle to me, listening to him speak. Like, I don't know what he's saying.
I thought I was the only one. I knew I wasn't the only one.
I'm a woman, and I like I said, I can't speak for men, so I don't really know how to answer it from a man's perspective. But from a woman's perspective, he sounds like he's just speaking for himself. Like, I don't know what he's talking about, but he sounds like he's speaking about a singular life experience, his own, and that's how he dates women and marries women, and that's how he thinks. And he's projecting that on men as a whole. But I don't even know men that speak like that. It's a little strange, honestly. And, and if he said that to me, I don't even think I would want to commit. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't even want to commit to what he's talking about. Like, I don't even understand. It's a little strange. So I'm a just say, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know, but yeah, it was a crossword puzzle, and it's still not solved in my brain what he was talking about. But I just think that a man commits when he's ready to commit. Like, a woman can't force a man to do anything. It has to be a choice of his own, and that's just, it is what it is. But I did have a question for Sweeney though. Like, Sweeney, did you perceive me being aggressive with you today?
No, man.
Oh,
That was,
okay.
we've been on panels multiple times. I know how you operate.
And this is
Yeah.
what I think, like, and this is my point. Like, somebody that's watching in the audience is projecting that I'm aggressive today, and I'm not, and I'm in a great mood to
Oh, you spicy every day. It's just you're the baby.
I'm me every day. I'm satisfied with life every day. Okay, a ray of sunshine every day. Amen. I'm passing it back to
Right
you,
on.
Hank, because Hank, I really want to know what you have to say.
Hank just
So-
as confused as the rest of us.
No, don't put that jacket on me.
You just said you was confused.
Nah, you confused me. That's what made it a problem.
You said I confused you even more. That means you was already confused.
If I got you. If look here, I don't know what he was talking about. He sound crazy to me. I don't agree with nothing he's hardly said. But if a woman is a nurturing type woman, and that's what she's showing me, that's what she is, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't want just a bunch of goddamn talk. Ladies, if you getting a man who's just talking and that's all he does is talking, and his actions don't follow up with his conversation, you wasting your time. Fellas, you the same. Action speaks louder than any damn words. So if she's doing these things that I expect of her to do, and she's going out with it, if she's cooking me 2-3 days a week, okay, man, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I expect. I'm okay with she's doing laundry, she's doing the dishes, she's keeping her home clean, she's making sure everything is nice and neat and placing in order. I'm okay with that. Why wouldn't I want that? As a man, if that's what I'm looking for, and I'm getting that, matter of fact, I'm getting even more, why not? Why wouldn't I want to be committed and put a ring on it? Why wouldn't I want to bless her? And I'm not gonna fatten her for other frogs to eat. Hell no. Shit, I need to go and make her an honest woman. But if I'm gonna sit there and play around and do this bullshit, no, that's just bullshit. Ladies, if you expecting marriage, you better say it up front. If your expectations within a 1 to 2 year time frame, you expect to be married or looking to get married, you better be doing that and saying it. Let it be known. Because if you're not, man, we're gonna play house as long as we can. We're not gonna sit there and put a ring on it if we don't have to. You're not gonna get that out of us. But if that's your expectations, now we either got to shit or get off the pot. Now we got to make a decision. But ladies, you better hold us to it. Let me say that. If that means you need to walk away because he's not living up to what he said he's gonna do, and your expectations, then you got to be willing to do it.
I want to say this real quick because Hank, you just made me think about Big Sean. I don't know if you guys heard his statement about Janae that just came out. And I think they said they were dating for over 8 years. They have a baby together, 2-year-old, I believe. And Big Sean was like, things have to be perfect before he gets married. Like, that to me is the ultimate red flag. Like, there's no relationship that ever gets to a place of perfection. And if a man is saying, y'all have to have a perfect relationship before you get married, that's like a sign to run. I don't know any other, like, that's a sign to run. There's never going to be a perfect relationship. And just him saying that mentality is scary. And women just stay year after year thinking eventually this man is going to marry me. And he's done said in so many ways, this ain't what I want. And women aren't listening. They're not. So I agree with you, Hank. Yeah.
All right. Well, bring Jay Prince up. He wanted to say something on this topic. What's going on, Jay Prince?
What's up, JR? What's going on, everybody?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Pretty good. I think from listening to these conversations, and we've been having these conversations for a few years. I was classified in this space with one of the lowest grade of a man, which was a Pookie and a Ray Ray, right? And before I got here, in my Pookie and Ray Ray ram, I got my results throughout my whole life, right? Even though it's gonna be some issues, I think it's issues in from Pookie and Ray Rays all the way up to the uppity people. But when they, how is it that by me being a Pookie and Ray Ray, I could come up here and finally get the results that these men complaining that don't exist no more in women? I found the woman in this YouTube space who will be classified like as a middle class type of woman, on her way to becoming a lawyer. She 3 years away from becoming a lawyer, and she sacrificed all of that to be with me and work up under my program in my hot dog business. On top of that, she don't have no kids. She's 28. She's beautiful, and to help me raise my 3 kids. And I'm a Pookie and a Ray Ray. So if I don't understand how these top notch men cannot find, if I can find it, no matter what type of, because I notice every time a man like me get a woman of some type of status, they gonna try to berate her to say, oh, she ain't this, she ain't that. Or you find out she done dated somebody else, oh, she'll pass around. I don't know how you can be passed around by dating one person, but I would say every woman that you meet in our between the ages of 25 and up, she done been with other men. So why is these men still complaining? And one more thing to close. A lot of people come on these talk shows and talk about what makes sense. A lot of that stuff, y'all, it makes perfect logical sense, right? It's perfect sense. But in reality, it's totally different. What you will do and what makes sense is two different things. I have been in relationships, and I know a lot of other men has been in relationships, and they start off with all of these standards. But when they got into these relationships, a lot of those standards went out the window. And most times, men typically, when you trying your best to approach and get a woman's approval, how you gonna have all of these standards when you going out your way to try to win this woman over to you? I see a lot of these men throw away their standards left and right to get this woman to even take her on to agree to a date. So all of these supposed standards and stuff like that, I think it don't happen. Y'all might not have a good way with women, and I'm gonna shut up after this. I don't think that it work out with women because how the way y'all approach them. Y'all approaching them, telling them, lying, say you gonna give them the world. A woman have to do this, baby. I'm your man. You don't have to lift a finger, baby. You promising these women all this type of stuff. So when she got with you, she gave you a shot. That's what she expect. Well, a nigga like me, Pookie and Rayway gonna tell you what it is. That's part why we winning. Go ahead. I'm done.
What's wrong, Swin?
women.
No, I made a joke about JP in my head, man. I didn't want to
What's
say.
the joke? I like jokes.
I was gonna say, yeah, you look like you slay hot dogs for a living.
Actually, I'll be selling wings and everything, man. We
Hey,
we
no, hey,
sold
look,
out.
I
We
ain't gonna lie
sold
to you
me and
though.
my girl. We sell out every night.
No, I'm proud of you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man, because it's hard getting that shit. Especially when it comes to food, it's hard getting that shit off the ground. So it was just a joke, man. You know, I got to slang a joke every now and again.
And yeah, and one more thing. Why do men? I hear a lot of because they always trying to say, "Oh, these women would get with these Pookies and Ray Rays." It seems like on one breath y'all saying y'all trying to shame these women for getting with Pookies and Ray Rays, but on another breath y'all say that y'all are men and y'all like to compete. So since y'all are dramatically losing when it comes to getting women between the Pookies and Ray Rays, you want to shame the competition. What's up with that?
Don't forget the corporate Pookie now.
Yeah, you do have corporate Pookies. All I wanted to say, I mean, I'm the lower class man, and I ain't never had these results out of women like this stuff that y'all be talking about. I never had a woman try to act like an alpha. In real life, when I'm dating women, we don't have these conversations about none of this. No alpha. A lot of women didn't even know what hypergamy was. I come ask them, I was like, "Do you believe in hypergamy?" They're like, "What the hell is that?" I didn't know what the hell that was till I came on here. I can understand that we probably didn't have the language for certain stuff, but at the same time, when I get with a woman, it just fall in place. She act like a woman, I act like a man, and you might have some bumps in the areas where she get a little lippy and stuff. But I always say that I like a woman to speak her own mind. I don't want to be solely dominant over a woman. I don't want no woman that I control her thinking.
But Jr., why are you
Word,
chewing?
word, Jr. I was about to say the same thing. Like, word, bro.
What happened?
Chewing really loud.
Oh, y'all can hear that?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you chewing, man.
I'm like, what is he eating? Because I want some.
But I have a question. So Jay, like, did somebody call you a Pookie, or do you consider yourself a Pookie?
No, when I first came on here, they was calling me Pookies and Ray Rays
Because
because
you
I
have
was
3 kids.
yeah, I had a lot of baby mamas and stuff
Uh,
like that, and kids, and just my life upbringing.
okay.
Well, I ain't gonna say he a Pookie, but he definitely Pookie-ish.
Hey, it seems like if I was a baby and I had to look at the uppity men and the Pookies and Ray Rays, especially when it comes to dating, I will yield more towards the Pookies and Ray Rays because it seemed like the men that's the uppity men is not winning in that area.
I have a question. What's the uppity man?
The uppity men is like a lot of these dudes that come on here and they feel entitled because they got degrees because they was lied to when they was lied to when it was coming up saying that if you get your education, you could complete your goals. A woman just gonna fall right in your lap, just like butter beans. And when they end up seeing the women do not fall in their hands, and they meet and they rather date either a white nerd over the black ones or Pookies and Ray Rays over them. Now the shaming tactics started coming. Now they got so much resentment for Pookie's Ray Rays, and Pookie's Ray Rays don't even know that these men even exist. Like they don't have no ill malice towards these dudes, but yet these men will always come on these platforms talking about them. All I'm saying is, at some point, you got to go out there and try to get the results and change your problem. A lot of these dudes, they never experienced these women. A lot of these dudes, they come on here, they having a lot of conversations. I get it, it's good conversation, but go out there and get some experience. I find out it's a lot of men don't even have experience even living with a woman. A lot of men don't have experience even have kids nor raising them and raising them with a woman. But they would come on here. How can you talk about something you're not going through? You can't talk out of ignorance like that. How you gonna come on here at this point, especially when you do it for so long? At this point, it look like you just a problem. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you it's gonna look like you the problem. It's not the woman. If I ask these men when was the last time have they dated any one of these women that perpetrated any of these character traits, when last time they was with them, it either probably would have been a long time ago, years ago, or they never even experienced it. Oh no, I'm just saying. What do y'all think about that? I want to hear y'all thoughts on that.
So JP, I know you, right?
No, you know of me. Go ahead.
No, okay, say what you want. But JP, you the same one that was talking bad about married men and how they simps and how they wasn't no good and all this and that. You remember that?
Yeah.
So now your tone has changed, huh? Because you
Be-
put a ring on it.
because I felt like I had to listen to y'all conversations over and over and over and over. I said it got me curious and intrigued. So I said, let me step into these uppity nerd niggas' realms and dominate over there too. Since I'm dominating these niggas in the Pookie world, let me come on to the uppity married man world and dominate. I managed to get a woman to do what I want her to do. I managed a woman, she got her degrees and all this other type of stuff, and she came over there, put that to the side to work up under my business. Let me come over there and show this. And then JR, I don't know if you know, but me and that woman, when I speak about my hot dog cart, right? But me and that woman went to the council meeting because they were trying to take my hot dog cart and food trucks and say that we can't sell in the city. Me and that woman, we went up to the council meeting and fought, and we won together. We in the newspaper, and they got a video of us. And because of us, now everybody that want to come to this city with like a vendor try to sell food and stuff, because of us, they will be able to do that.
So,
So it was
JP,
good stuff that come with the women.
congratulations to all those accomplishments. But dog, let's keep it our way honest, though. You used to shit on married men.
Yeah.
And
I still do.
For years. You used to shit on that. Talking about marriage. Who wants to get married? Don't get married. That's bullshit. You know, nobody needs to do.
But I'm not the one gonna be in a losing position though. I'm not gonna, let's say me and her get divorced today. I'm not losing nothing. She put her degrees to the side to come second. She sacrificed, not only she moved from cross East Coast to the Midwest to be with me. That's one. Then she sacrificed her singleness in her youth to help me raise my kids and to help me. You see, we go live every weekend when we selling our hot dogs and chicken wings, lemon pepper with the buffalo garlic. She there with me every step of the way. She put her own degrees to the side. When y'all say that black women do not do that, especially when they get degrees. Y'all was sitting up here earlier saying when black women get degrees, they get to start fighting men back and forth, fighting men back and forth. Well, my Pookie Ray ass managed to outdo that, not managed to find a woman and to not do that. How come the bottom of men can get a woman? Maybe the woman that y'all fantasize about might not be you. I think a lot of these men been turning down women of who they really are because they got this idea, this fantasy of this perfect woman, woo out the bam, and that might not just be you. That might not be who you really are. Because attracted people attracted to attractive people. JR, ask these men last time they had a woman living with a woman. You can't continue blaming women.
And that's a fact, Jack. I agree.
I started off by blaming women every day.
So,
I still blame them for certain stuff, but I blame my real life experiences that I don't really went through with them. These men be either talking about somebody else's experience or some stuff since they mad because they at home single as heck. They single all outdoors, and they just want to blame women because they don't have the enough swag or enough talent to be able to persuade a woman to get on their program. A woman's just not gonna just hop on your program just because you got a degree or you achieve some goals. No, you gotta. What happened to characters? Women still gonna be attracted to the personality and character of the man. Period. You're not entitled to no woman because you graduated from Harvard.
who says that though?
But the way these men keep talking about, they talk as if since they got degrees.
No,
And they classify themselves as high value
I
almost
think
solely based on their income.
JP, you conflating two different things. No, when men talk about going and getting your money up and all of that, that's just all they're simply saying is if you ain't getting that's a solution to a problem if you're not getting women. And all of us can admit, if you got more money in your pocket, that does bring more women. Now, how the quality of women, we don't know, but it does. Any man can say, I was able to get more women with money than I was without money.
We know that's when we ain't talking about just no groupies, right? I'm not talking about,
No,
but I'm
I'm
talking
just
about
saying.
getting a woman to love you and sacrifice for you. Why my
most men.
Pookie? The question is why? How come my Pookie and Ray butt managed to find a woman to sacrifice for me? And y'all said these high value 6-figure plus men cannot find that.
But nobody says that your money gonna get a woman to love you. Nobody ever says that. Who have you heard say that? I would love to know who you heard said that specifically. That hey, with money you can get a woman to.
Tripping? Have that always have been the plight that
No,
a man that
man.
makes 6-figure plus gets the women, high value men?
No, he can pull women, but you can't. We all know that money don't make a woman love you. You know that. JR knows that. I know that. Luis knows that. Hell, Balance and Chanel know that.
So why is these men not getting no woman to love them?
That's not the solution. That wasn't the solution to the problem. That's what they're complaining about, is that women don't love. But they never said get your money up so a woman will love you. They said get your money up so you can get women.
Okay, so what's been the argument then? Now the argument seems like it's switched.
The same thing you complained about women.
A woman natural traits, that's something that you're never gonna change. I think that men should stop just competing with women and just compete for their own. Actually, if you want me to be real blunt and being honest and just be all the way thorough, when it comes to black men, right? And I'm not simping for no black woman. I guess that black women too.
Is it beyond the realm of possibility that you just so happen to find a good woman?
No, hold on one, Sweeney. All of this, if we're going to say what a woman is attracted to, protection and provision, right? Black women ought to be grateful that a woman give him a look. Because let's talk realistically. Black men, you can't protect no black woman. What's up with that black woman that got shot down by that cop?
She didn't have no man. What does that got to do with us?
Nothing. You're not protective. When
she didn't have no man, JP.
Real quick, I'm finna finish, Hank. When black women need Pampers and stuff to provide for their children, I'm talking about the needy black women. She can't go to black men for provision. She got to call another race of men. Race of women got to call. Hold on once, because this is a conversation that y'all don't bring up. Why black women don't respect black men? Hold on. And I'm not simping. I'm calling like it is. If you're going to say that black women, hold on one thing.
You got to pass the mic, though, brother. You got to pass
real
the
quick.
mic.
Let me just say this, because I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. When your race of women have to go to another race of men for provision and protection, how then you gonna complain that she's not submissive to you?
What? Let me. Anytime a woman gets into trouble, the first person she calls is the next closest man to her, which is normally 9 times out of 10.
Because we're gonna risk going to jail.
Black man.
No, you can't take our, because y'all don't like Pookies and Ray Rays, right? So you can't take what the gangsters and all them niggas do. Y'all separate yourselves from us. So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, when you talk about the educated black men, right? The black men that did all this good stuff for you, for themselves and stuff like that. You don't protect your women. They can't call you for provision.
Which one
for
is
none
it,
of that.
Bro? Yes, they can. What do you think about? Hold on, wait. Let me explain it to you this way. Think of it this way. This is one of the biggest problems with black folks who do out earn most of the people in their family. And this is a black man and a black woman issue. And I'm sure anybody on this panel that makes over $100,000 find themselves being asked for a lot by their family members. And so, in fact, they often say, man, I got to help out my cousin over here. Or they got family members borrowing money from them all the time. Or they're the ones that you the person that pays for most of the family reunion. You the person that helped grandma out when you had to buy the truck to help grandma move. Or you got to be the one that helps Keisha over there get her shit done. Or you the one that they come to. Like, that's anybody that out earns majority of their family members find themselves in that position. Yes, they do help. They help all the time. In fact, they're normally the only ones footing the bill for a lot of shit.
I disagree because a lot of times those dudes move way far from them family because of that factor. They don't want to be the one that they called on.
Ask any JP, how much? Just ask. Do you make over $100,000 a year?
Not yet.
Do you know anybody in your family that make over $100,000 a year?
Yes, and he moved. He moved way to Texas because niggas in the family was asking for money.
Exactly my point.
But look, but what I'm saying is that don't mean he was giving it.
Yeah, he was. Because you don't get mad until you start losing money. If you just keep telling everybody no, you can tell people no till you blue in the face. You move away because you get tired of telling people yes. Man, I'm tired of helping. I'm tired of doing all this, man. I don't have this kind of money to be supporting my whole entire family. I can only support me and mine's right here, but I got cousins over here asking me for money. I got grandma over here asking me for the money. I'm paying for this over here. I'm the one that everybody go to every time there's a funeral and there's some money that need to be raised. That's literally the point. That they complain about it all the time. Luis, have you truly experienced that?
I have experienced that. Have you
What
ever
about
seen
you,
the
Hank?
movie Soul Food?
Yes, in the movie Soul Food, she was the one that out-earned everybody in the family. They literally went to her for everything. And her cousin was dicking her over. Everybody was fucking her over in the family, but she was the one footing the bill for everybody. Yes, people who earn the most in their family tend to wind up taking care of everybody around them, or the expectation is there. They do it all the time. And watch, when your business jump off and you start making that kind of bread, you're going to experience the same problem.
Wait until you finish school and they still calling you. You haven't even landed the job yet.
Right? They be asking you ain't even graduate college yet, and they already expecting you to.
That's why I believe black, when it comes to the black race, we don't got no set structure. Like when we see the Mexicans, they not sitting up here having these conversations. They all getting it together, and they own all apartments in the block. They own all the food trucks that niggas will laugh at, right? Because y'all would laugh at a man like me with hot dog carts and food trucks, but those Mexicans, they understand this money because they not trying to get this recognition. When I see a lot of stuff in black people, they more of a status. They be trying to get status and try to get looked at like they some god or some stuff, and they not even that. And when I look at when an Asian woman get rich or whatever the case, or Asian man, they still on the same team. What I'm really trying to say, everybody, their whole family, you might have some one-offs, couple one-offs, but primarily how they be taking over stuff, and what make Mexicans so powerful, what make Asians so powerful, what make the Jews so powerful, what makes whites so powerful, because they have a unity and a unity of, first off, the brain. They on the same page darn near, right? But when it comes to black people, I believe this, you believe this. This is my home. I don't give a care what's going on in me and my home and all this other. I don't got time for these people to be asking me for 20 and $30 for no alcohol every goddamn week.
Man,
So,
Jay Prince, that's not true. That's how a lot of people wind up losing all their money in their family. Like
when
all
last
these
time you see a black family with a whole bunch of people living in there? And
what does that have to
everybody
do
got
with
a
the price
job.
of tea in China?
Huh?
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
No, but no. What I'm saying is that give credence on how black people think. You're not successful by yourself. Black people don't look at themselves like a unit or a collective. Y'all look at
How many
yourselves as
people live in your
individuals.
house?
And for black people to be at the bottom of all races, you're not in the position to be thinking independently.
Bro, we're literally the first ones. Like, how many people live in your house? We're literally the first ones to offer our houses up to people. When grandma's sick and she ain't got nowhere to go, they normally move them into the house. When your cousin
Nah,
lose their
I
house,
know what he's
they
saying.
go
I
stay
know
with
what he's
other
saying.
family members.
No, my first experience with seeing how that community works was right after college, and I moved to Illinois, got into apartment complex, and my building, it was a lot of Mexicans. They would have a 4-bedroom apartment. It'd be 8 couples. Each couple had a bedroom. It was 2 cars. They sharing cars. After about a year or two, everybody had cars. Then all of a sudden, Chiquita bought a house. One couple moved out, bought a house. Like that's like 5 years. I watched that, and I was like, damn, all of them got houses now and each cars. But they was building families and they was staying together. Our community, yes. Sometimes we be like, no, this my. I work too hard for this, so this is mine. That's how we see it, and we don't last that long. So I see what he's talking about.
Group economics, man. That's really the key, is group economics. I shared this story before. So up in Lynn, Massachusetts, I met this Mexican dude, and him and a couple of his friends. and he told me his story. You know what I'm saying? He told me he grew up in Mexico. He grew up very poor. He came to the States, him and two of his other friends, right? And they came illegally, and then they worked, getting their papers and stuff like that. But when they got here, they worked like 3 jobs, all of them. They lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. Each one had a room, and they all worked. They were barely there. They just all worked, all 3 different jobs. But you had 3 people bringing in 3 incomes each, right? It's a lot of money coming into one same household. So after a while, one of them got into a relationship, and he brought in a girl. And then when she came in, she took care of everything. She cooked, she cleaned, she prepped everything, and they just worked. She just stayed home and she took care of that. Some time went by, the other dude did the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? He had a girl, they didn't even work. They both just stayed at home. And then they had construction equipment, and then started working construction. They started making more money, and then slowly, surely, they started elevating. They had bought the house that they were staying at. They bought the house that they were staying at, and they were all living on that one floor level, and they rented the rest. One of them was getting serious about starting a family. One person moved out. They moved up onto the second floor. Same follow suit until all 3 of them had their own wives, their own person, and they all lived on each floor. All shared the same vehicles, all that stuff, right? He like broke it down to a whole science to me what he did. And then they took out the equity out of the house, bought one of them who bought the house for the first guy who got married and he moved out. Then they followed suit, did the same thing, and then they just kept that asset that just keeps on generating cash flow.
Yes.
They already paid out the house, right? But not all of them have houses, right? Mind you, these dudes that had their highest level of education that they finished was probably the 9th grade. The 9th grade is the highest level of education they probably finished. Some was probably as middle school. So, but they were willing to, you know what I'm saying, like stick it together and work together and just share everything, share expenses. There was none of that. But I will say this. I'm not saying it's for everybody and everybody's completely different, but it's definitely a cultural mindset.
Exactly. Imagine that
Definitely
we
a
bought a
cultural
three.
mindset.
I'm sorry. Imagine that we bought an apartment building, right, for $300,000, or between $300,000 to $500,000. It's 4 men on here, and we all making 60,000. Let's say 70,000 a year. 70 times 4. That's what? What's 70 times 4? That's 280,000 a year. You mean to tell me that we can invest in more stuff to make more businesses and stuff like that? Like we could actually do something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think when it comes to black people, they attach themselves to material stuff, and they attach themselves to this. I'm better than the next. Black people attach themselves to materialistic stuff. I don't know if it comes. I think it's low self esteem. You ask me. I think black people, they feel so down and beat up for so long that they want to outshine somebody else. They want to be the one that's shining. That's what I
Jay,
think it is. That's why I think that why we can't get together like that.
Jay Prince,
Yeah,
in your family,
yeah,
personally, have you ever moved any family members in your house to help them?
yeah. I moved people. My house used to be the house because I grew up in that type of house though, right? My auntie used to have a lot of people living there, but it wasn't like they was on a mission though. It wasn't like that. They set out a plan and everybody, you work here, we put this up, you work here. It wasn't nothing like that. It was more of my auntie, she was on government assistance and she tried to get a little few dollars here and there. Come on, y'all, come on, stay over here. Hey, you just paid me $200 a month. And before you
Chanel,
know it, was a lot of people moving in and out. But it wasn't like no structure type of environment far as like, we all coming in, we got a goal that we're gonna be trying to compete. Jay Prince, you go work here, you put your money up, you put about 30% up, in the pot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing like that.
what about you, Chanel? You ever moved anybody in your house?
My nephew moved in here about 6 months ago because, he got a baby on the way. Well, just had a baby. And, he got his first real job as a salesman with Verizon. And he wants to save money. So, yeah, he's here. His girlfriend just got an apartment. So he has a choice to be over there or not. But he wants to have his space. And I'm okay with that. So. Yeah, I'm helping him right now. He crashed his car, so now he's driving one of my cars for the last 4 or 5 months. He's 22. He'll be So, but that's my nephew.
What about you, Balance? Oh shit, I don't think JR is balanced in here. Luis, what about you? You ever moved anybody in your house?
I had one time, yeah, my brother. He was going through. We used to live together. When we both left our mom's house, we lived together, and then we both split, and then he came back around. But yeah, I mean, I currently live alone, but yeah, I've done that.
Me, I'm the same way. First of all, I witnessed my parents move my grandmother in when she needed help. I witnessed my parents move my auntie and uncle in when they needed help, and we've also went to go live with auntie of mine when we needed help. Also, me personally, I moved my sister-in-law and her husband in when they needed help. When they moved to Dallas for the first time, they came and stayed with us. And they didn't have to pay for anything outside of help with some food every now and again.
That's not the same thing, Sweeney.
But the thing is, the point is that while we may not operate the same way, to say that we're not family oriented, that we don't look out for one another is just simply not true.
That's not what I was saying, Sweeney. I grew up with everybody in the house. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when it comes to black folks, they always want to outshine another black folk. That's it. They want to outshine themselves. What I'm saying, when I compare it to how Mexicans do it, right? Because when I go to the south side of Milwaukee, there's nothing like mainly like Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. They will all live in one big house.
But I don't disagree.
And buy food trucks. They all on a mission.
I don't disagree with that.
With you food days. That's nothing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Happen.
That's not what I'm saying.
So JP, hold on, Sweeney. JP, are you willing on doing the same thing?
But this is what I'm saying. No.
Are you willing on doing that? JP, if you're not, why are you going to preach about something? No, JP.
Yes,
if you're not going to, why are you preaching on something you're not willing to do?
I said yes, but I'm gonna give you context. I said yes, I'm willing to do that. Only we come up with a structure, like something like how Mexicans do it. If we come up with something saying, okay, we gonna do this. You work here. We put 40 to 60% of our income in the pot, so we can start more businesses, more buying up more houses. That's how Mexicans taking over our city. Now all the landlords in the hood is Mexicans. How these Mexicans own all of these houses in the ghetto that niggas done died for and fought for and said, this is my block. You don't own nothing on this. You don't own nothing in this area. Nothing.
Let me tell you how one part you're wrong at. A lot of things you can do, accomplish this, and don't have to live with a bunch of people if you don't live above your means. A lot of that's our problem. We live above our means. When you know you don't need a 5 to 6 bedroom house. I said it earlier in the show, but yet people get that because they see everybody else got that. Because people think with an individual mindset, people can't even get along and talking about working 50-50. How are you going to get you and your family, who more than likely you can't get along with, who more than likely you ain't probably had a family reunion with your folks in over 6 years, you don't even know who's your cousin, who's not. How are you going to do that? But you're going to get people to move in together? Y'all not willing to do that, especially if you're not willing to do it yourself. So now you got to find somebody within your family who's willing to homestead, because that's what you're talking about. Homestead, come together and be as one. Now I'm all for it.
But do you
Me and my brother, hold on, let me finish. Me and my brothers talked about this. buying a piece of land out in the country and moving about 3 or 4 houses on that same property. But you got to have like-minded people to do it, and they don't have to be kin to you to do it. You don't have to be actually blood related to do it. It can be done, but you got to find like-minded people to do it. It's one or two follow the same rules and have the same mindset. If you don't, it's not going to work.
That's all I'm saying. But I think, but just because we have these issues, that don't mean that we ignore that. We shouldn't have to ignore the possibility that this stuff can happen. We should get around like-minded people and develop that mindset. The problem is we don't have that mindset at all. Go ahead.
But and the point is, what I was trying to make is that just because we don't do it similar to what they do doesn't mean we don't do it. I've known countless people who've had somebody come live with them just so they can save up the money to be able to buy their first house, because they were good. They had some extra space in their house and was like, yeah, you can come stay with us. I've known parents who let their kids stay with them for extended periods of time just so they can pay off their student loan debt or pay off something to be able to go and get their own home. Just because we don't do it the same way that they do does not mean that we don't work together. We just don't do it the same way. And the reality is that home ownership amongst the Latino community is 48% in comparison to 45% for Black people.
I think that's bullcrap. You keep talking about like moving in people to help out and stuff like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's Mexicans out here dominating damn near every city. And what makes them strong in America? Because they move as a collective. This individual stuff, what have it done for Black folks? Black folks was more stronger back in the 50s and the 60s when they moved as a unit. That's how they got stuff done. All of this individual stuff have not done nothing but made us weak. You weak. Go ahead.
Thank you, because you've been talking a lot, and
I'm sorry.
I'm actually a little bit offended by you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're a little triggering for me because things you're speaking on is like we're talking about individualism, and I think you're the epitome of individualism. You have, I don't even know how many baby moms, how many broken families across wherever. And you're talking about how we need to come together as a community, but in your own personal life, you're living opposite of that. So
Can you break that down? What do you mean I'm living opposite of that?
I promise I'll break it down if you don't speak over me.
I won't. Go ahead.
Like, and this is what I mean. Like, and my friends and I talk about this in the group chat. You know, how we do talk about Pookies and Ray Rays and then how they want to be conscious leaders. But it's like, it's a lot of talk and they're not living what they're preaching. Like, if you, I'm not, nothing's wrong with the concept of what you're saying. The issue is you're not living it. So, like, if you want to lead somebody in something, you lead with your actions, not your concepts and your words. So, how I mean that? I mean that in the sense of, if you have, I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3 baby moms, and now you have a new 28-year-old young woman who maybe you want to make her a mother as well. So is that going to be 4 kids, 4 different moms? So if that's the case, then maybe you should bring your family together, and all the women, if they're all single moms and working, maybe they all should live together with you. Maybe that could be your way of doing it, because you have all of these broken families and you have your kids scattered around the place. Like, that's something that maybe you could work on. But you coming up with these concepts of what other races are doing and these big ideas of what Black people should be doing, focus on your home first. And I say this all the time with men and women. Like, we love to talk about what we should be doing as a whole. How about you talk about what you should be doing as an individual in your family, in your home, with your children? Live that first. Be the example.
Trigger might be.
I want to respond to her, Louise. So, balance question. How do you know what I'm not doing?
You got to give me an example.
You said I got my family, I should do this stuff, practice what I preach, and do this stuff in my own home, and I got kids scattered all over the place. How do you know this?
You came on here and said that you don't have people living in your house, right? So that means that you're the mother of your children are not living in your house. I only know what you came on here and said. I only know that you have 3 kids because you came on here and said it. So
I have full custody. I have full custody of all of my children.
So they all live with you.
Yes, you hear them in the back. They've been living. I've been doing this for 10 years.
That's amazing. What about
Well, I don't need no
JP,
compliments. I'm just
JP,
giving you
that's
some
not true.
stuff.
That's not true,
no?
JP.
Man, Pink, stop speaking my life for me. Don't do that.
Hold on,
I
y'all.
don't have to.
Hold on, y'all.
Don't
Let's
You,
make
do
sure
that.
we
Stop.
having a
That's
conversation. Hold
disrespectful.
it's
on.
all on YouTube, brother. I don't have to do that.
Okay, let's just make sure we are talking civilized so we can have a conversation.
Are the moms there too?
No.
Okay, now when it comes to their moms, I did try to have both of their moms. Actually, for a while, both of my baby mothers had keys to my house, and they used to always go like hang out together and stuff like that. We used to all be in the same house. And before I got my wife, it used to be my girlfriend, my two baby mothers all hanging out together with all my kids and they extra kids. But situations end up happening. I'm not gonna get too personal about these situations that kind of like divided the grown folks. But my kids still here with their daddy. At least I got all them together. I don't got that much power to just make them come, but they know the doors is open. But at least I got enough power to keep all my kids.
So JP, you're not living what you talking about then.
None of us it. Oh my god! It still don't ignore the fact that it still doesn't. All of this, me talking about none of all of this other type of stuff, is still not. And you cannot ignore the fact that the way these other groups of people are living, how they come together, is still what makes them more powerful. I don't understand how black folks think. Y'all think because you balance. Let's just say you was a wealthy woman. Do you think you powerful being wealthy? Especially when you competing against the whole United States. You weak by yourself. If something break off, if it's just you gone. You out of that money don't not gonna protect you on nothing. And I'm not just talking about violence. I'm saying protect you on anything.
What are you talking
Getting
about?
laws changed. Nothing. We need to start moving as a collective. I don't know how we ended up black folks talking about individually. You the wrong race of people to be talking about living individually, especially here in America.
So JP, are you having this conversation with your wife and your kids and your baby mamas where y'all can come at one home and come up under the same umbrella? Are you having that
Yes,
conversation?
I'm telling you, we have discussed
No, no,
all of
no.
that.
Are you having that conversation
I
with your
just said
extent?
yeah.
Okay, so when's the move-in plan? When
Oh,
are they moving in, JP? Are we gonna see a video on that? Are we gonna see a video on you moving all your baby mamas into the same home with your wife and your kids? When's that video coming?
I literally just told you
No, when's
that.
that video coming,
Oh
JP?
man,
I'm
I
serious.
hate somebody to speak my life for me.
No, we're not. We speaking on what you said. We speaking on what you said there told us. You talking about us as black people need to do better and come together and move as one unit. JP, when is the video gonna be coming on to YouTube showing us moving you and your baby mamas and your wife and your beautiful kids all together? When is that video coming?
Okay,
He's gonna hire a Mexican moving crew, Hank.
I literally
I'm
just
just
told
wondering.
this.
I'm
I
looking forward
literally
to that
just told
video.
this man. I hate people just come up here and just be talking. Y'all
Well,
try to say
JP,
I'm
that's
talking,
what you
but y'all,
did.
I
That's
guarantee
all you've
you,
been doing,
I
brother,
got
is
more
coming up here
literal
talking.
results than most of you.
You don't.
I bet you I do. Because I only speak off experience. Y'all speak on hypotheticals, theories, and education that you never even met, history that you never even seen before.
So
I
what
only speak off
experience?
my experience.
So
What experience do you have?
So I literally just explained to you that I had that in certain situations that I'm not gonna tell you niggas or what went on with that situation. I don't gotta get too personal on what went on.
so
I
JP,
literally had that.
so why ain't your baby mamas living with you now then? Since you had that, why ain't they living with
Man,
you and your wife?
forget just me. Let's just say if I
No, no,
don't do it,
JP,
you
we have to
cannot
go.
ignore the fact that
No, no, JP,
you
you have
cannot
to set.
ignore the
No,
fact
JP,
that
you have to set
there
the
won't
example
be a
you're
healthy
talking about.
movement.
JP, you have to set the example you're talking
Oh
about.
my
I
God.
can't sit there and talk about something that I'm not willing to set
Man,
the
you just
example
like to
about,
be a
right?
contrarian.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
No,
go
he's
ahead and
he's asking you. Look, JP.
no.
Look,
The problem is black people gonna be continue to be weak. What y'all
Okay.
have is a feminine mindset. Y'all
so
like to
we're
y'all want to be
so
individuals so y'all can outstun and poke at somebody else. Y'all think like a woman. A man that's real logical, if black men was actually logical, What I'm saying to you, you be operating like those other groups. Look at the J community, the small hat community. They not one individual is not powerful.
JP, this is
Nobody in
coming from a
America,
man
nobody on the
who,
globe is
JP,
powerful
you're a
by
man
themselves.
who doesn't believe in marriage. Now all of a sudden you got married 4 weeks
Oh my
ago.
God,
Now
man.
you
Hey,
believe in
listen.
marriage.
Hey,
Now you
listen,
talk about it as a
I really
collective.
think
But you
you
was
a
always
hoe,
thinking
though.
that no, JP. You was always thinking as an individual
Man,
to
these
the
man,
point
this
you hated.
bizarre.
No, JP. To the
This
point
is
you
why
hated on
Pookie and
men
Ray Ray
who
beat the
was
hell out of
married.
you niggas.
To JP, you used to hate on men who was married. Talk about y'all weak men for even getting married.
Okay, go ahead.
So
JP.
now you talk about it as a collective. Now all of a sudden your mindset
I
supposedly
always talked
changed.
about it as a
So
collective.
JP, where's this homestead that you're going to be doing, bringing in your baby mamas along with your wife and your kids? Where's that video? Where is that going to happen? You're not
Oh,
talking. You're just talking right now, like you sit there and say you're doing nothing but talk.
I
There's no
showed more
action behind
experiences than
nothing what you're
anybody.
saying.
I showed more life
also,
experiences and more
JP,
everything that
Come
I
on,
actually
JP.
talk
JP,
about
JP,
in real life. What are
We
you
see
JP,
saying?
you.
You just a
We see
hater.
JP,
you, JP. We see you,
JP.
JP.
You
Hold on,
cannot
Hank.
ignore the fact what I'm
JP,
saying. No matter if
JP.
you want to look it up
I
to
got
me
you.
or anybody
JP.
else. The
The
fact
average
still stands
JP,
that the way we think is making us weak. Period.
JP. The average household size in America today is 2.51 people. In 1960, it was only 3.3. It's American. We've always had our own damn house. We've always had our own families. That's the way we were brought up. What are you talking about? And we only
Man, shout
represent
out to the
14.
Mexicans, man, and Latinos and the small hat communities. And I'm
It's
glad they
do you
powerful.
really think that they move the needle that much?
Yes,
What's
they definitely beating you niggas. I mean black men, black people. Yes.
okay?
Y'all
JP,
black
what are
people is
you?
struggling.
Are you
The
not
reason
part
why
of the
black people
problem
is
then?
struggling so bad because you move individual. You
JP,
moved it individually.
you made 3 separate households when you made you got 3 different baby mama. That's individualistic, JP. You didn't try to marry none of their baby mamas. You didn't try to really bring them all together. You're not doing none of that, JP. You're part of the problem, like Balance said
Okay,
and
but
saying.
you gave up your family for a prostitute though.
I didn't give up no family.
Like you forgot to tell that, huh?
Hold on, hold on.
I
You
never
forgot
been
to
with a
mention
prostitute.
that.
I
Can
don't
we
know
While
what you're
you
talking
all
about,
up in
JP.
my business, you sacrificed your whole family when you
excuse
was
me?
married for prostitutes
Excuse me. This is not
and
serious.
lying to God.
Hold on, you guys. Hold
Jay,
on.
you
Go
getting
ahead,
really
Balance.
emotional. I don't know you. I've never seen you before. You seem to be extremely emotional right now. You're taking it very personal.
Now
And
she
I
playing
think,
psychology games with me, dude.
see, and I think you're trying to hijack the show a little bit. Like we let you go on
Oh,
your
you been doing that.
we let you go on your
So
brand.
so you did not just hear him.
Yeah, I heard everything he said. I
So
agree with
so since he
you.
was saying
But
some stuff that you agree with, you didn't you was okay with him hijacking the
no,
show.
you've been speaking the whole entire time.
But you started off you disingenuous because you started off saying that I trigger
All
you.
right, y'all. Let's make sure
So
we
if I trigger you, you didn't you want to correct me, but not correct him though.
Hank is not triggering to me.
Right, so that's why you ignored the fact that he was hijacking the show and telling my life. So you was gonna ignore that. Then when I speak up in defense, now you want to come to me with all of these problems. You being
No.
Well, JP, the
disingenuous.
problem is that you came up. We're just challenging your ideology with your own real life. You came up here and said this is what we should be doing. So,
Yes,
like
we should.
for instance, if they challenge me on what I said earlier, right? I said a lot of stuff earlier, right? I got a lot of pushback. I was able to use my real life to explain why those things I feel that those things are true.
I get that.
So that's all that's happening here is that they're just asking you, are you the example of that?
But
And if you're
I
not,
hate talking. But this is what I be saying though. I hate talking to black folks, right? Because
Then why are you up for it then, JP?
you still cannot ignore what I'm saying is not true. No matter if I'm doing it or Lou is doing it, what I'm saying is accurate. You
Okay.
got to keep in mind we wasn't raised with that upbringing. We was raised to think individually. The message was
Some of us
always to
was
think
though.
individually.
JP, not all
Oh
of us.
wait, no,
No,
hold
no,
on.
no, JP, no, no,
Why
JP,
he
pass
always
the
get
mic.
Brown?
Pass the
How come
mic,
you ain't checking
JP.
from interrupting me? I'm
JP,
responding
you
to
gotta pass
Sweeney.
the mic, brother, because you've been talking the whole time, brother.
Yeah.
Y'all
The
been
whole
talking for
time you've been.
hours.
I haven't heard you stop
I'm
talking.
talking about nothing.
Well,
Okay,
maybe
bro.
you gotta watch another show.
So Sweeney. So all I'm saying is
Why don't you
black
take this
folks
conversation
need
to the
to
Black House?
dude wait every time I talk, dude act like a personal female. She up
Take
there
this,
laughing.
take this to your channel, JP. Maybe this is just not the channel for you, brother.
Right, exactly.
Oh, this is channel for gaslighting and pussy boys, huh?
No, JP has nothing to do with that, brother. But
That's exactly
JP,
what it is.
what you're talking about, you're not willing to do
You or
yourself,
Balance ain't
JP.
gonna tell me what to say.
JP, what
I'm
you're
gonna
talking
speak
about,
my mind, and I ain't gonna
JP,
speak it to make her feel good nor you.
Hey, shout out to the Pookies. But what you're talking about doing,
Right. I got the
you're
results.
not
What's
willing
your
to do in
results?
your
How
real
come you
life.
ain't married?
What you're talking about, you're not willing to do in real life.
You ain't
Again,
living. You've been up
what
here
you're
speaking
talking
about
about,
marriage, but you
JP,
ain't married.
you're not willing to do in your real life.
You not doing it in your real life.
JP, you don't believe in marriage. Remember that? That's what you always
How
said.
come you not married? You've been lying about marrying this
The
woman
31st.
that you've been screwing for
The
at least 2
31st.
years.
She's gonna get blessed on the 31st.
Congratulations, Hank. Hey, it's about time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's
31st.
been saying that forever. I ain't gonna congratulate him till that happens.
No, JP, I take my time. I don't do it and get married over to a YouTube chick
You the
that I
one that
just
need to
met
be
3 months
vetted
ago.
properly because
I
you
don't
the
do
one
that.
that's the problem. You the
No,
one that
you gotta
you the one
JP.
that sacrificed your marriage for
Let me help.
prostitute the
Let me
first
help you out.
time.
Pookie King, let me help you out. You have to learn and figure this woman out. You don't just go jump into a marriage and not know
She need
her.
to learn to figure you out. You the
She
one that
knows you.
lied before.
Never lied to her before.
You
That's why she's going to
sacrificed your
marry.
wife for
That's
a
why
prostitute. You
that's
sacrificed your
that's
family
why I'm
for a
not dealing with what you're
prostitute.
dealing with, JP. That's why I'm not dealing with
And
what
you
you're
sleep with
dealing
your
with, JP.
titties.
Again,
Like, you need to
that's
be
why
vetted.
I'm not dealing with what you're dealing with, JP. Because
How
I'm
he
not
come up
you.
here having
I'm
this
not you.
conversation? We gonna talk about that.
My lady, it doesn't have to deal with the problem. She
You're
has to
not
deal with
living what
you.
you
She's
preaching, though.
not. My lady gonna have to get on YouTube and argue and fight with me publicly on YouTube. That's
Oh,
not how
man.
we roll. We don't do like that because I got more respect and love
But
for
at
my
the end of the
lady.
day, when
Some
you
people
compare
have
our votes
respect
and
for the lady
results,
where they
right?
don't front them, they don't embarrass them, they don't. Their woman's not going to say you embarrassing me
Man,
on
y'all got it.
YouTube. I don't have them problems, JP.
I'm sorry, JR.
Those are
I
Pookie
ain't trying to
problems.
come up here and I'm trying to have a
JP.
real conversation.
Hey,
Those are
JP,
Pookie problems.
Hey,
I'll be
JR,
real
he's
with you.
getting on me talking about I'm not living. So,
Those are
Sweeney,
Pookie problems.
how come you didn't balance? How come you interrogate he? He can't live in nothing and stuff that he's talking about. Nothing. None of it. I am. My wife and kids is here. He
JP,
sacrificed his wife and kids
where's your
for
baby
a
mamas at?
$2 prostitute.
JP, where's your baby mamas at? You supposed to bring everybody in. Everybody's supposed to be under the Prince
You made
household.
your wife a baby mama.
No, I didn't. She's my ex-wife.
Right, because you cheated. You sacrificed it.
I don't have a baby mama. I got an
Like,
ex-wife.
come on now. Balance, why you don't
JP,
got nothing to say about that,
you
Balance?
got 3 and 2 possibles. I don't have 5 kids. I got 2 kids. Now, soon as I get married, I'm gonna have a few more.
And hey, Hink, guess what, Hink? Me, my wife, and my kids, we just set up, we recorded it, but we sit at the table and eat dinner and have a conversation, have a good time.
That's good.
And pray. We
But
pray over our food and
some things you
everything.
shouldn't put on social
When
media.
last time you did that with your wife and kids?
So why
Some
don't you
things you
just
shouldn't
say
put on social media, JP.
so?
When last time you did that with your wife and kids?
Social media should not be always put in every situation. See, that's a lack of
I didn't come
intelligence
up
you
here to
have.
get preached to.
No,
When last time
that's your
when
problem.
last time you did that
JP,
with your wife and
again,
kids?
my wife
Balance
would.
just said
I'll
that you
let you
gotta
know on the
look in your
31st.
own home.
I'll let you know on the 31st.
You have a broken home.
I'll let you know on the 31st.
At least I got my kids out the deal. You didn't even get that.
I do got my son. My son's in college. What are you talking about, JP?
But you sacrificed a bit time from them.
No, I didn't sacrifice anything. I got custody of my son. What are you talking about? I didn't sacrifice anything.
You sacrificed your whole family.
No, I sacrificed my marriage.
Come on now, fellas. Like, come on,
But
man.
look, but Sweeney, this is not
I'm
what the
done going back.
conversation I'm trying to have.
I ain't
The
gonna argue with
conversation that I'm
I
trying
ain't
to
gonna argue
have
with
that
you.
they keep trying to make this that Sweeney.
JP,
I
you
think
came up
that
with,
what
you
I'm
started
hearing
it though,
now, y'all
brother.
getting a little jealous because I stepped inside y'all ram
Look, we're
and
not jealous,
dominate
man.
y'all even in
Congratulations to
this
you and your
area.
wife, man. Congratulations
JP,
to you and your wife, man.
Oh my God! If you would have came up here and said, "Hey, look, we need to get married more. You need. I believe in second chances and getting married again. If shit doesn't work out, go out there, find you a good woman that's gonna, you know what I mean, that's gonna get on your page. Yada yada yada. You have your very real life to back that up. We'd have been like, hey, shit, cool. When you came up here and said, hey, we ain't got 5 families living under the same roof, and that's what's holding us all back. Yep. All we simply said is, where's your 5 families under the same roof? I don't personally believe we need to find 5 families under the same roof to get better in life. I'm sure that Hank doesn't probably really don't believe that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that subscribe to it. But I don't necessarily think that that's what's necessary for us to move forward as
I
a
think
community.
that is necessary.
So,
I think the problem when we got too many black
then
folks
why
that
aren't you
think
doing
like
it,
this.
JP?
So that's
Then
all
why
we're
aren't you
asking
doing
is
what
why
you
don't
said?
you
Let's
do
just
it?
say if I never even tried to
JP,
do it,
why
like,
aren't you living
oh
what
my
you're
God,
talking about, though?
these people
No,
that's on
JP. Because what
he
we're
can't
not
wait
going to
to
do,
speak to me,
you're not
boy.
going to sit
He
there and try
follows
to
me everywhere I
chastise.
go.
You're going to chastise everybody up, but you're not willing to do it your damn
Hold
self.
on.
You're a hypocrite.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because you pathologize black folks
Hold
when you
on one,
did
sweetie.
that.
Hold on one, sweetie. Thanks, JR. No matter if I do it or not, me and my wife and kids here, right? Pookie and Ray Ray managed to get a wife and kids, move out the bam.
It's possible.
The fact still is,
It's
let's just say
possible.
if I don't practice it right, you still got to keep in mind, us black folks was raised up under a certain type of mindset, right? We didn't, we was not raised up with the mindset like the small hat community, the Mexican community, even the white community.
All right, so now
you still can't. You still can't. That's like saying how come I'm not fighting the white
what's
folks
stopping you from
or
doing it?
fighting slavery, slave owners and stuff like that?
Fair enough. What's
This is
stopping
how
you
we
from
was
doing
brought
it?
up.
Because he's a
No,
hypocrite.
You know it now. What's stopping you from doing it? I'm sure it should be very easy for you to pull together 5 people and they kids and say, "Hey, let's go get a house together."
Actually, if we must know, I got my brother, my sister, and my little cousin.
And they all gonna
And we
move into your
all trying to
apartment.
do the same shit together. But I felt like I didn't have to.
Are they all gonna move into your apartment?
You could have just said, open up and just said, "Hey, look, me, my brother, my sister, and we about to get a house. In 2 years, we all saving up our money. We about to move into a house together, and at least we know you on the path." That's all you had to say.
Am I loud, babe?
When we asked, that's all you had to say.
My wife, my brother, my sisters.
Are you all moving into one apartment? No, JP. Yes. Hold on. That's another thing you used to say. You don't believe in getting a house. You remember that? You said that too. So now all of a sudden you ready to get a house. No, you said it's not smart to buy a house. That's what you said.
No, what I'm saying is you keep trying
to
be
hypocrite
funny.
all the way around, JP. You full of shit.
You keep trying to be funny. I'm
not
really
trying to be funny. I'm speaking on what you used to preach.
You derailed
JP,
the show.
unfortunately, you put the paperwork out there, brother. That's your problem. You got a lot of paperwork out there of shit you saying right now, just the opposite. That's all you used to talk about, that's all you preach, and that's how you live. Marriage was not in. You didn't believe in marriage, JP. You didn't believe in having a house. You don't believe in having a life insurance and all that. You said all of this.
Wait, I can't evolve?
JP, you still ain't evolved. Look how you act. You ain't evolved. You still a pookie. You sit there and said it. You still a pookie. So how have you evolved? Where's the evolution in JP?
The revolutionary JP? Went to that council meeting, got stuff done, got a law passed in my favor.
JP, you didn't do shit, JP. Only time you sell your food is on the weekends. What about during the week? What do you do?
I'm in the newspaper for fighting.
Oh, okay,
fighting
JP.
The system and got something done.
JP, stop it. Come on, JP. You want to toot your horn?
See, he want to stay on me all day, man.
Shout out to all the pookies.
all I'm saying is, JR. They still cannot ignore that fact. The fact that only thing I'm saying is, even though I know a lot of us wasn't raised with this mindset, so we don't practice it.
JP, you wasn't raised with the mindset.
Just because we wasn't raised with this mindset, that don't mean that's not the mindset that we should be adopting. I truly believe that if you don't have that mindset, it should become a part of your mindset, because all you have to do is just look at the people that's winning in front of you. Other races move as a unit. JP, they don't move individually.
JP, all you have to listen. The thing is, I don't know your life, but when Balance asked you that question, all you had to say was, me, my brother, my sister, my wife, my 3 kids, they 7 kids, they kids, we all about to buy a house in about 2 years.
God damn.
I ain't gonna get on that. But all you have to do is come out and say, hey, look, we all about to move into the same house in about a year, and we working towards that right now, and we all gonna live happily. And then we'd have been like, we'll see it when you finish with it. But like when he asked you, why didn't you do it? And you just sit over and argue with us about why did you?
Because I hate when people do that. I hate when people even though, because my thing is, Sweeney,
You
the
hate when
reason why
people
I didn't
hold
feel
you
I didn't
accountable,
jump to
JP.
answer that. The reason why I didn't jump to answer that because that's a cop out
It's
question.
not a
No,
cop
it's not,
out.
It
JP.
is. It is because
It's
if you
holding you
understand
accountable
that,
to what you're saying,
man, damn,
JP.
he dog.
It's
Every
holding
time I
no,
speak, he
JP.
interrupt.
It's holding you accountable to
No,
what
no,
you're
no. You
preaching.
not. You can't
J,
hold nobody accountable.
JP, I ain't even gonna say it's
JP,
holding you
that's what
accountable.
you're
Listen,
trying to do with your bullshit ass
I'm
rhetoric.
literally having a conversation with Sweeney.
JP, it's
That's
not
what you're trying to do with your bullshit ass rhetoric.
JP.
So
It's not even.
all I'm saying is hey, Sweeney. All I'm saying is there is a cop out mentality. If you understand that when it comes to black people, you know for a fact that black people don't have that unified mentality of today's time. And you know from history, and when you look at other races,
That's
when
not
you
true
have
though.
that unified
That's not
mentality,
true.
it makes you powerful
That's
as
not
a
true.
unit than one.
That's not true that black people don't have that unified mentality.
They don't.
That's the whole point of why somebody came in and questioned why, because you pathologizing black folks, and then when that's the reason why they even asked you the question, because you came out hot pathologizing black folks. So we said,
God.
are you living the life that you claim that we're not doing?
You compare it to for people moving into your house. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if everybody be on the same page, and black folks don't have this. You see this, and when I say Mexicans have that, everybody know it because you see it all around across America. You see the small community they got cities delegated strictly for them,
JP,
and
you
they
have to understand.
powerful.
JP, you have to understand. There's a difference between how we exist in this country and how the Latino community exists in this country.
What's the difference?
I'm gonna tell you the difference. Oftentimes, the reason why they have to live in the similar households or the same households may come from forms of the way in which they even get into the country. Us, we grow up in a single parent. We grow up in a single family household. It's been that way for the last 7, 8, 9 decades. We've always been in our own households. The average family size in America as a whole used to only be about 3.3 people per household. It dropped down to 2.5. That means that most families in America were always single family homes. There was never a time where we had to come together and live under one roof like that, because we've never come from that. They may have to do that under certain circumstances.
I think
not only that,
if you're gonna talk
first
about
of all,
the black
your
struggle,
Section 8 voucher is not going to let you have all these people in your
if you're gonna
household,
talk about,
JP.
man, this man
You
don't
and
got
I
no
both know
fucking
this,
respect.
man.
Hey, Jar, can you please make this man have some respect?
Yeah,
He wait till I can
JP,
get ready to speak, then want to talk over
your
me.
Section 8 household ain't going to let you have all these people living up under your Section 8 household. You know better
all
than
I'm
that.
saying is,
Stop this.
when you talk about the struggles of black folks and the struggles of Mexicans and stuff like that, I get it why they got to do it, but still, it's beneficial for them to do it that way. It will be beneficial for black folks to adopt that same concept. That's all I'm trying to say. That shit is working good, and they own houses in your black community. They running your black community. The restaurants is them. What? Okay, the way y'all doing it individually. What do black folks own in these communities? What that you know that black folks own it? What do we have? What do you own, Sweeney? Where can you go outside of a soul food or mom and pop shop that's finna get taken over? The landlord is the owner of the building that they renting the restaurant from. So where can you go that say that's black folk stuff? Where? What we got?
Hello, motherfucker.
Hold on, wait. I'm responding to somebody. Hold on real quick.
We don't have nothing.
You don't.
We don't have
Speak for
nothing
yourself.
as a collective
I want to go
that
to
got a
Ike
black
now.
face on there.
Ike, you there?
Yes, I'm right here, my brother.
What's going on? What you got?
Jeffries, come on now. You know Jeffries still pookie, man. You know, you can't put a lipstick on a pig just like that, brother. But guess what? I'm glad that JP you took up your hair because that's a start. But I gotta tell you, I see a bright future, brother. And JP is right. He's very, very right to a certain extent. Black people, not that black people don't have something, they have a lot, but they are not utilizing. We haven't started utilizing. We haven't started utilizing. Not just black people in America, worldwide. We haven't started
That phone call got him.
what
That
we
phone,
got.
you
We
gotta press refresh. Hold on, go ahead.
No, I had a incoming call from my sister. That's what. So until we start utilizing what we have, we are bigger by economy by far. By far, nobody comes close. In fact, one country out of our continent, right, is largest economy in the whole world. But guess what? We don't know how to use what we got. In America too, we always tapping the wrong people to represent us. There are a lot of black people out there that will make a difference. But guess what? They don't speak. They don't talk. And a quiet mouth don't get fed. You see what I'm saying? A quiet mouth don't get fed. Hink is doing his thing. Hink dominates his community. Sweeney does big in Dallas. JR does it big over there in Chicago. But guess what? They don't speak much. They don't say much. The only platform they speak is right here. But we got to get bigger platform. We got to go bigger than what we have. And guess what is going to happen? We're going to be louder. Because the community that has it, has a lot, that we believe that has it, the reason why they have it is because they speak louder. We can't tear ourselves down. I got to tell you, JP, telling black people that they don't have nothing is not the way to do it. Because black people have a lot. So what is there, or what I'm going to ask you is this: what are you doing to make a difference in the black community? Because black people has a lot. Black people have a lot. What are you doing to make the difference?
You know what I'm doing? It's been so many black folks that I made. Okay, my hot dog cart done brung a lot of different people together, right? And when they look at me, a lot of people knew that where I be posting my hot dog cart at. They used to see me there sleeping on the streets when I was used to be homeless. And now they not only that they see me with my own hot dog cart, see me generate money every time I come out, but they see me with a wife, and they see me with all of my kids. My kids get watch and learn how to run a business based off with their father. You know how many fathers want that? To be able to show their kids every day on what it's like to run a business. And we don't have to work. I haven't worked for nobody
Hold on.
else in a year and a half.
So JP, you having the kids out there working with you
Yes, my kids out here work with me on the weekends, yes.
at night?
So so
No,
that's one
JP. No,
thing. And
JP.
then
So you
I
having your
goes out.
kids out there at night
Man,
working
dude, I'm
with
not
you?
gonna explain to you about how I parent my kids. You can do what you want to
Nobody
do.
said.
I'm not gonna get
So
into that
JP,
conversation.
what sense does that make?
I don't owe you no explanation about my kids.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you got
Well,
your kids out
JP,
there at 12,
Go
11:30
ahead,
at night
Chanel.
working with
Well,
you.
go ahead, Chanel. I want one here, dude.
JP,
That's
I think
crazy.
I really do think it is really dope how you don't forget where you came from, and you, like you said, you have your hot dog cart on the same
Hmm.
corner where you used to be homeless. I really that really because I've been listening even though my camera's been off, but that really made me think like that's pretty dope because not only are you showing, you're not forgetting where you came from, but you also showing how you can overcome something and not never give up whatever that is, and showing that accepting responsibility that your thought process was different until somebody came into your life and showed you something different while you got better. So I can understand your stance right now. I didn't know you last year and how different it is, but I can definitely tell that you found a good thing, and that's why you are standing on it today. So just wanted to let you know I respect that you still have your business and your family. Like you kind of painted this picture to everybody. Like, damn, I probably didn't think he was gonna get that far. So respect to you on that.
I really
So
appreciate you, Chanel.
JP,
Not only, man, damn,
JP, do
man,
you
it's been
employ
one
any of your
talk for me. Hey, Tara,
no.
can you please stop this
JP, do you
man?
employ any of your family members?
You act like you act
No,
like a bitch.
JP. You sit there talking
You
about
act like a
homestead
bitch.
and glad you're working
You don't
together.
got no
Do
resources
you
at all.
employ any of your family members?
I employed the same homeless people
No,
Like,
JP.
no.
Are
I'm
they your
talking
family
now. I'm
members?
talking in
Are they
the
your
chat.
no, JP? Are they
So
your family members?
I'm not for to answer your question.
I
So
just make sure
JP,
we're doing
so
one
you
mic,
talking
y'all. Let's make
about
sure we're doing one
bringing
mic.
family together and as a
JR
collective,
just said one
but you
mic.
but you're not willing to employ
Respect
your own
JR
family?
channel.
JP, you a hypocrite. You're
Respect
not
his
willing to
channel.
employ your own family.
Respect his channel.
Where's your brothers and your sisters with the 8
Okay.
kids? Why ain't you employing any of
To
them?
the chat.
You employing some
Right?
homeless people who has nothing to do
I
with
have
you, but you're
employed.
not willing to employ your own family?
Man, I have
You a
employed multiple
hypocrite,
people.
dog.
Dog, man, this
You a
motherfucker is a
hypocrite, bro.
gay ass nigga, dog.
Really, JP?
Dog, you a gay
JP,
ass
watch
nigga.
your mouth.
Hold on, y'all.
No,
Hold
you
on,
watch
hold
your
on,
bitch
hold on,
ass mouth,
hold on,
punk.
hold on.
You a
Damn, JP.
homosexual ass.
Hey JP, we can't be using some words, man. We can have a conversation, but we got to make sure we're not using those words.
I apologize for using the words, but JR, man, I'm keep trying to speak this man, keep interrupting me, trying to get me,
All right,
asking
but
him about my motherfucking life. Go marry,
JP,
go back home, punk.
JP, you practice talk about bringing
Man,
families together,
you
working
keep
as a
talking. I'm trying to
collective,
talk about
but you're
something
not
else. You
willing
all
to
right,
always
y'all.
employ
want
One
your
mic, one
every
mic,
time I
one mic,
come
J-
around this
one
motherfucker,
mic,
this
one
JP.
mic.
bitch ass.
Hold on.
JP, you're not willing to employ your own family, your brothers and your sisters. That's part of coming together. You're not willing to employ them, but you'll employ some homeless people who ain't your family. What sense does that make? You sound like a hypocrite.
Okay, so I've been employing a few. I employ some veterans. I employ some homeless people, and we also. I'm speaking to E because he asked me what do I do for the community. So I employ people in my community that where I came from, and I started this virtual glizzy thing where like my people from my channel they usually donate a lot of money because we got this thing where it's called a Black House Kitchen and we make sure don't nobody go home hungry. So we be out there at the same time while people still be out there on the streets, homeless and stuff. We still be feeding everybody. So we go buy packs of hot dogs, and I still be giving them free hot dogs. But the people from the Black House community online, they be sending like $2,500 to feed a whole bunch of people and make sure that nobody go home hungry. So that's what I'll be trying to do. And my kids is able to get to see their father not only working the business but actually helping and supporting his community where he had came from when he was out there poor. So what you think about that, Ekani?
So again, you still ain't said nothing about this shit you came up here preaching about coming together, homesteading, bringing us together as a collective, black people working together. Yet you're not employing your brother, your uncles, your nephews, or none of them. You're employing some homeless people that has nothing to do with you. There's no nerve in your bloodline. You're not coming together as a collective. Are these homeless people, are they black? Are these a bunch of white boys from Wisconsin?
I got a question for JT.
Oh man, you a hypocrite, man.
I got a question for JT. JT, those homeless people that you employ, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, those homeless people that you employed, what's your relationship with them?
I have one of the people I used to be homeless with, I had
Mm-hmm.
met down there. I used to be homeless with him like 10 years ago.
Okay.
He was actually young when I was around him. When we used to be
Okay.
homeless. He was like 17, 18, 10 years ago. So he
Mm-hmm.
about 28 now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh outside of that, I didn't have no relationship with them. I just see they homeless. I'm not finna try to look down on them and stuff like that. So
I got a
they come up to me all the time, ask for a job, and I make sure I get them a job.
uh,
I hire
okay.
some
I got.
teenage boys too. Like
Mm-hmm.
I hired like 4 black teenagers
Mm-hmm.
that work for me too.
I got a question. I got a last question for you. One last question. When you were homeless, what was the relationship between you and your family?
All my family used to want to tell me I could come there, but I always wanted to. I didn't want to.
You are literally the example of what you criticize black folks
No,
about.
no. Oh my God, no! It's not, Sweeney. It's not the same
Yeah,
thing.
you
Going to tell
Hypocrite.
are.
somebody,
He's a hypocrite.
dog, Sweeney. It's not the same thing. I don't see how y'all correlate that together.
You had black family members. You had your family members telling you, you can come stay with us. And you said, nah, I'm good. You went your own way. You are literally the example of what you're trying to criticize. And you're proving my point. I just told you.
First
Yes,
off, when I
we work
came
together.
up first off, Sweeney, when I came up with this solution to the black problem, I'm not saying I didn't say that I was excluded from that
Fair
mindset
enough.
though.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like none of us was excluded from none of this stuff that we spoke about, right? But I realized by living that way, when I started growing,
But your family. I will say this though, JP. Before you go on, let me
hold on,
just say
Sweeney,
this.
because he ain't finna interrupt me all
Hold on,
day. You think you better J.R.
he ain't
Towns.
gonna interrupt. He ain't gonna interrupt. I promise you. I will say this though. Your family is the example of what I tried to tell you earlier. Your family did invite you to come in so you can get on your feet. You, in your rugged individualism, decided against it. But you had family members all from far and wide saying, JP, I got you. You can come stay with me.
No,
JP,
see, that's not the context. The same thing that I'm trying to explain to you. I'm not talking about going to move with somebody, help somebody. Okay, that's different. What I'm saying is,
how is that different?
Hold on, you gotta let me finish the question. Well, y'all keep asking me something, then talking over me. All I'm saying is, I think y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all just trying to, since I'm the one saying it, and since y'all don't like my results ain't a little bit
Do you
out there
think you would have
more
had your
experience
hot
than
dog
y'all
business a
don't want
lot
to hear
sooner?
it.
Do you think you would have had your hot dog business? Do you think you would have had your hot
See, now
dog
you
business?
didn't let me answer the first
No,
question. You're gonna ask me another one. Now that's a disingenuous.
I
You just
thought
trying to
you
find
did answer. You
You
moved
just trying to
on.
find something to diminish me,
No,
though.
no,
That's
no. It's not
it.
that. No, it's not. JP, I swear to God, that's not what I'm doing.
Diminish me.
I was going to ask you this. Do you think that your hot dog business would have jumped off a lot sooner had you to taken the help?
I didn't have that mindset back then when I was homeless for a hot dog cart.
I'm just asking. Do you think it would have happened had you would have taken the help?
Have I would have did what?
Taking the help, and let's say you wanted to start your hot dog business. If you would have taken the help that was given to you by your family, do you think that would have increased the chances of you being able to start that business a lot sooner?
I would say no, and here's why. Because the mindset that they had back then, you can't save no money living with people. Because they're going to feel like they always entitled. When you do get a little money, they going to always ask for it.
Come on now, dog. Come on now. I didn't
see this is. Oh my God!
I didn't say. I said, do you think it would have happened? I'm not saying that if after
you
it
can't
got done,
save no money in black families' homes because they don't have the same mindset like I'm talking about. I don't see how y'all not getting
so
it.
all those people who asked you to come to their house, they told you, "Hey, you can come stay here, but your ass
when you
gotta
come
pay
to their
equal rent."
house, you can't save no money because they always gonna need shit. They be like, how you get all that money? I need this. Lend me $400. Lend me $200. Lend me this. Lend me that.
Well,
So
how
basically,
how can that be the case when y'all coming in
You
together though,
conflating
JP?
two different lifestyles.
Jesus Christ, JP, you were looking worse and
Y'all
worse every time. Keep
conflating two
talking, JP.
different lifestyles. Now y'all
wait.
just want to
Keep
come up
talking,
here and
JP.
joke.
Hold on,
We can joke all day.
It's not about you joking, man.
Are you saying in this? Are you saying that the people who offered you to be able to come stay with them to get on your feet also needed help to get on their feet?
Yes. Just because you got a house don't make you on your feet. It's a lot of people in homes still struggling. It's a paycheck away from being evicted. All I'm saying, you conflating two different things.
Y'all need to pay y'all Section 8,
Y'all
man.
be these smart, uppity niggas.
Pay your Section 8, man. Pay that Section 8 voucher, man. Quit
y'all acting
skipping Section 8.
I'm supposed to be the dumbest one out of all y'all.
You are.
And it seems like you ain't grasping what I'm saying.
No, because we don't speak ignorance.
Wait.
Comprehend. All I'm doing is I'm asking you to comprehend what I'm saying.
No.
All I'm saying is when I realized that living by yourself and woo out the bam ain't did nothing for black folks. Nothing. It still ain't.
But it sounds like moving in with your but JP, it sounds like moving in with your family, you don't get nothing out of it either if they chasing you down for money, JP. How does that work? If they want you to move in because you got money or you ain't got no money trying to help you, but yet they gonna take you down too. How does that work, JP?
So Sweeney, all I'm saying is the mindset, all you have to do to become successful, pay attention to people that's successful in front of you as a collective. And all I'm saying is I could give you countless, I could give you groups of people who doing it differently. They all got the same mindset, but us.
You can't, JP,
The way y'all talk is why
remember,
we losing collectively.
No,
JP, you the reason why, because remember, you didn't believe in marriage. And that's coming together, right? Not creating multiple families like you did. That's coming together. Employing your cousins. You employing homeless people who you just sit there and said that you had no ties to, that you had no relation to, but you're willing to help them, but you're not willing to help your own family. That's an individual mindset, JP. And that's why I'm saying you're hypocritical, because you're talking about coming together as a collective, but you're not willing to do it with your own goddamn family. You full of shit, dog.
So my thing is, okay. So
you came together with a prostitute to help destroy your own personal family.
You needed a place at a period of time in your life. You needed a place to stay, right?
Yeah.
You had people, even if they may have needed the help, they offered their home to you so you can help them. Well, and in that moment, that should have been that right there proves against your point that you had. Even if they needed the help, they said, hey, look, you come stay with me, but we all contribute to this household together so we can all get further forward. Or they may have said,
what part you not comprehending?
The part that
first off, when I was homeless, this was about 10 years ago, right? And
I know.
You should know I did not have that same fucking mindset.
But your family did. The ones who asked you to move in
we're
did.
Not talking about just shacking up with nobody. That's not what I'm talking about. You keep talking about shacking up.
That's not shacking up.
Shacking up stuff.
If you homeless and they telling you, hey, you can come stay with me till you get on your feet, that's not shacking up.
Smarter than this.
How is that shacking up?
Because you correlate the two different things. What I'm talking about.
Oh my God!
You had family members that said, "Hey, you can come stay with us."
You don't lost your goddamn mind.
Is that not what you just said? You had several family members that said,
"What is wrong with you, dude? Now you just trolling. You got to be just trolling."
Is that not? I'm asking a very simple question here.
No, you the dumb one. All I'm talking about.
Don't waste your time.
Talking about no checking up. I'm saying that black folks needed to get together and have the same mindset in building. You talking about shacking up, moving with a motherfucker. We ain't talking about
what?
JP is special.
You moved in. They were moving you in to do what? What was the goal that they had in mind for you to help you move, to have you move in with them? What was they said, JP, I know that you're going through a lot of problems.
Stay there for a month or two and then get the hell on out. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, when I brought up the Mexicans in the J community, they intentionally do this for a reason.
So JP, if they got when are you moving your brothers and sisters?
If they got 10 people in their family and 10 of them making $50,000, they put 50 times 10 is 500,000.
When you moving your family in,
and JP? You know what you can do with 500,000?
JP, I got a question for you.
JP, when you moving your brothers and sisters in, JP?
I ain't paying dude no attention.
No, but first of all, we need to get off JP because it's not JP's show. We ain't gonna keep talking to his old dumb dope fiend ass. JP, when you gonna move your ragged ass sister and your brothers in, and your 8 nieces and nephews? When are you gonna move them in? When does that process happen?
You about 2 seconds away from coming out the closet.
Hypocrite. When is that gonna happen?
Just so you know, also JP, the average Latino household size is 2.8.
You're not gonna do it, JP. You're a hypocrite.
Go ahead, Egan.
You talking shit. You're saying nothing.
Go ahead, Egan.
They not even doing that shit.
Business?
He's not living. He's not living what he's talking about.
What you say, Egan?
How's your business doing now?
How's it doing now? Oh, it's been very lucrative now.
How many employees do you have, if any, or contractors?
Him and his wife.
Well, it's been me and my wife right now because we just started. We
You do have
independent
contractors that come and work for you once in a while, right?
Well, my food truck. I got a food truck as well, so my food truck is almost done, and then I'll be able to.
That's supposed to be done 2 years ago, JP.
I'll be able to rent the hot dog cart out.
JP, that's supposed to be done 2 years ago.
So I'll be able to rent the hot dog cart out.
Oh, okay. You're not going to answer that question, huh? 2 years ago, this food truck's supposed to be done. What happened to that?
A lot of people didn't ever complete their goals, but this did.
And that's your fault. That's on you. Why didn't you
So
and your family come?
we
No,
almost done with the
JP.
food truck.
Why did you and your family come together as a collective to get this food truck off the ground 2 years ago? Why did y'all bring y'all money together and do that?
I see why y'all niggas on
Because
here
you
so
a
wicked.
hypocrite, JP, because you don't believe in it,
Man,
because that's not your mindset for real. You
women,
talk a good
I can
game,
see why
but
I'm
that's
not
all you do
attracted to
is
you
talk, JP.
niggas.
You just all talk. You ain't no action. Ain't no action behind you. Now I see why you get bullied at
Look, you
home.
sound like a
Now I
female.
see
Look,
why you get ran over in your house. Now I see why you're not a leader and you consider yourself a baby mama, JP. You
we
called
gotta
yourself
fix
a
all
baby
that.
mama,
Get that
JP.
feminine energy out.
JP, you called yourself a baby mama. What man calls himself a baby mama? What man
Go
calls
ahead,
himself a
Ikanik.
baby
He
mama,
ain't talking
JP?
about nothing.
Yeah. What man calls himself a baby mama?
What you say, Ikanik?
May I ask what that means?
The reason why
What mean, ma'am? What a baby mama is? JP called himself a baby mama. Ask JP why
Yeah,
he
why
called
did he
himself
do
a baby
that?
mama.
Why
What
did
you
you
say,
do that?
Chanel?
Why did you call yourself a baby mama?
I never call myself that, man.
Stop lying, JP.
Oh, I
I
thought it was
said
a.
by me being at home with the kids and stuff like that, it feels like some feminine stuff.
So your wife runs your truck?
This is before
No,
he's married.
you said you said
Oh,
what now?
I was saying. So your wife runs your truck, but Hank just cleared that up.
No, Hank.
You're with the
No,
kids
wait. Here,
now.
He can't clear up my life. No,
Hey, I
me and
did.
No,
my
his
I
wife
have
runs him,
20 super
not his
chats. Let me
truck.
get to these. Let me get to these super chats
His
real
wife
quick.
runs him, not his truck.
AP accountability partner $5 says you were aggressive. Time for playback quotes. Don't worry, I got you balanced. This is from earlier. AP again $10 says Sweeney, you have a tendency to hijack the show and take us off topic for a very long time. So kind of do want to wrap up this point. Not aggressive, combative. Thanks for the correction. AP accountability partner $5 said that was the beginning. And Hink and Sweeney were still talking. I still have love for you, dear sister. Gabrielle Smith Perry $2 says butter beans. Scorch $5 says he who
That
finds a
sounds
wife
good.
has found favor. I guess JP found his. Congrats. However, question was a godly marriage. No one has answered that yet. Segment play. And lastly, Big Bomber 44 and 499. A great man once said, just
I
sit
know
back,
damn well y'all not.
let him talk. Shout out to Luis, Big Dog Hink, and Sweeney. Protect balance. JP is Pookieology. JR, this your fault.
His own family tried to help him, and he just turned that shit down. On some rugged individual shit. But he had a whole slew of black folks trying to help him out. But black people don't look out for one another. We don't come together for shit.
This is one thing that I gotta say,
I
right?
think
Because
he intentionally trying to
I
ignore
hear people
what
say
I
this
really
all the
said.
time.
Just try to talk junk.
JP,
No,
JP.
I just used your real life as an example of going against what you
Okay,
said.
I'm
You
gonna show y'all my
pathologize
life.
black
Hold on.
people, and they're real, and your real family was a living example that goes against your entire ideology. All of them were willing to help you.
That wouldn't did nothing but cripple me to how the way they was doing. We didn't have nothing structured. Why? I keep saying the mindset is different from the way Mexicans in the J community, whites, Asians. It's totally different. It's
So
Then
not
you
the same.
if their structure was different, why didn't you come
I
up with
think
some
you just
type of
doing it. I
structure
think you
then?
just saying this stuff on
JP,
purpose.
why didn't you come up with some type of structure then?
This is the structure that I came up with. I'm going to show you my
So why
structure
didn't
that
you
I came
present
up
that to
with.
your family then? Why didn't you
Hold
present
on.
that to your family, JP? Why didn't you present that to your
Okay, I'm
family,
literally
JP?
starting black literacy, right? Black literacy. Y'all talk about black literacy all the time. I'm
JP,
literally
why
finna
didn't you start that with your
wait. I'm
family?
literally finna show you the results.
No.
Jr., can you blow up my screen?
No, JP, showing us the result is doing it with your family. You didn't do that with your family. Why are we seeing
That's
a
my
broke
food
down truck?
truck.
That
That's
truck
my
ain't
hot
moved in
dog
over
cart.
2 years, JP.
come on,
I'm
man.
showing you black literacy.
That truck ain't moved in 2 years. You gonna get some
I
tickets
just
on
got
it.
done driving it.
JP, stop. You can't drive. You ain't got a license.
I spent about 20 some thousand in this.
Hey, JP, have you seek any funding for your business?
That's the hot dog cart. So there's two businesses. Literally
Hey,
financial literacy.
Two business. That's one
JP,
business,
have you
JP. What are
seek
you talking
funding?
about?
That's
Have
a
you
food
seek
truck and a
funding
hot
for your
dog cart.
business? JP, have you seek funding for your business? Have you seek partnership?
Yeah,
Have you
he begged the
What you
black
say,
house.
Economic?
He begged the black house for money every week to buy ice and hot dog buns. Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, even the black folks that support him, shit, they coming in and donate money so he can continue his business. That's black folks coming together.
He sit there and said, he said
Yeah.
they buy
I
hot
only want to
dogs.
say
He
what
said
he
they buy
said.
virtual hot dogs. He said that, Economic. That's what he said.
That's
Man,
very disappointing.
I
I
think we're gonna
guarantee you,
be.
That's
majority
very
of your
disappointing.
clientele
Economic, do
base
you
is black.
understand what I'm trying to say? Trying to convey? These men, I thought JR Panel be where all the smart dummies at.
Man,
These
come on,
motherfuckers
bro.
plain dumb.
You have a
I
whole
got
community
literally
around
real
you.
life
Hey man,
results.
you got
I'm
all
talking
you and your
about
black house members
experiences. Y'all just
are all
talking.
special needs. Why don't you go over there and talk to your special needs group?
How did you get the 20? How did you get the 20 grand to get the food truck, JP?
That was over the years.
He scammed the church.
Hold on. One, my baby mama, she put 5 on it, right? For me and the kid, right?
So you scammed your baby mama out of money.
But I was working, I was a CNA, right?
God
For a lot
damn.
of years. And
You
so
scammed your baby mama, but you wouldn't marry the heifer.
every check that I was getting, I was putting it into this truck. I
You
only been
conned the
having this
church out
goal
of
for
money.
4 years. I
You conned
had this
church out of
goal for
money.
I had this goal between 3 to 4 years. So my second year, my 3rd year of having a truck, I realized this stuff costs way more money than to finish it than what I thought. So I bought me the hot dog cart, and the hot dog cart is taking off, and I'm taking the money from the hot dog cart to finish the food truck. So now once the food truck get finished, I completed.
So you've been working on this food
everything that I
truck for
need for
2
the food truck.
years. If you had a plan for you and your family,
Hold on, Hank.
So
your
now I
family
just
could have
gotta hook
brought
up
y'all
my
money
sink.
together and the truck could have been going. Why didn't you get a plan with your
So now
family
once the
so you
food
could
truck
bring
get
the truck
done,
along?
I'm gonna have a hot dog stand and a food truck.
So
That's what the Mexicans do.
Hold on, Hank.
I pay attention to the Mexicans.
JP, hold on, wait.
But
That's
you don't
black
pay attention to your
supremacy
family.
all day.
Hold on, Hank. So JP, did you ever go to your family and try to crowdfund any money for the food truck?
Yes, they don't have the same mindset that what I'm talking about now. That's why I'm keep telling you.
But why didn't you present why did you present your plan to them and maybe they would have?
Man,
did anybody outside
you know why?
anybody offer to help
They
you out of your family?
realize you already scammed the church. You're not going to scam us too. Is that what it is, JP? Since you scammed the church, they're not going to let you scam them too. Okay, now I get it. I got you.
Come on,
well,
Hank.
I literally have results about what I'm saying. I'm speaking. I can literally show what
I'm
I've
just
been
speaking the
doing.
truth. That's what he said.
That's being disrespectful at that
No,
point.
that's what JP did.
You can't say he scammed anybody, man.
No, he did. JP admitted he did.
Oh shit.
He talking about when I was homeless, I used to go to church when I used to be homeless 10 to 15 years ago.
And he scammed the church out of money.
How did he scam
He talking about 15 years ago when I was 21, 22?
There you are.
I'm 39.
Sweeney, you hear him admitting it now? He's talking about a long time ago. Yeah, I don't think it was a long time ago.
But
okay.
But when
20 years, 15 years later, I got two businesses.
But you can't make that argument and say that he scammed the church to get in the funds for his food truck, man. That's just unfair. That's just not right.
Sweeney, if he admitted he did that, then what's the problem? He admitted. He's telling you. He said it was 15 years ago. That's what he said. I believe it wasn't 15 years ago, but that's just me saying.
JP, did any of your family members offer up any money to help you?
No.
Why?
I did this on my own. It took years. When I was getting my taxes back, them stimulus checks, it went to the food truck. Every money I had was going to the food truck.
JP, you didn't do it on your own. If your baby mama helped donate money to you, you didn't do it on your own, then, dog.
She only put 5,000. I got over 20,000 in that food truck.
That's something, though. That's not doing it by yourself. If somebody even donated $1, you're not doing it on your own, JP. So don't sit there and preach like you did everything on your own. If your baby mama did just give you $5,000, she helped you. If without that, you've been 5,000 more farther away from getting your food truck done. So don't sit there and say you did it on your own when your baby mama donated $5,000.
Anybody help you pick up the truck, work on the truck, get
You, you said what, Sweeney?
Did anybody come in like help you work on the truck, change the carburetor on and clean it out?
I paid him. I paid him like $1,200 to hook up the electric. Um, me and my guy put up the hood system in the stainless steel wall. Yeah, my uncle, he hooked up the electric wall. I got all my sockets, this breakers, the circuit breaker for the hood system, all that stuff. He ran all that other type of stuff. So I end up paying him like $1,500 to do all of that all together.
How much do that normally cost? If somebody was to come in and hook up all the wiring on your food truck, how much would that
About
normally cost?
$1,500 to $2,000.
Like a professional, like a straight up, like if you went to like a.
Because I was telling my uncle, I was like, damn, I've been calling around. You give me the same price. Same price as motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I had to get it done. So now I got to do the plumbing. I just bought a new concession window. So I'm replacing the window, that big window. I got the concession window. That's that big white thing that y'all see in there. So once that's done, I'm going to paint it myself and put some logos on it and stuff like that. And now I got two businesses. One, me and my wife, we're going to be on a food truck while I can get somebody else to do the hot dog cart.
You got any family that know how to do what is it called?
And then once I make enough money, I'm not gonna buy no car because I don't believe in cars. I don't want no car. I want to get another food truck, another hot dog cart, another ice cream truck. I'm not buying no vehicles that ain't gonna make me no bread or make no bread to help. You know what I got planned on doing. I'm trying to at least have about at least five food trucks, 5 hot dog carts.
Are you going to employ any of your
That's
family?
black financial literacy.
So are you going to employ any of your family?
See, when y'all used to talk about
Are you going to employ any of your family? No, JP,
I took that to heart.
No. What about what you was telling us about bringing family together? Are you going to employ any of your family amongst all these trucks?
Anybody that want to come and work, they're gonna work. I had my cousins working for me.
JP,
they started off working with me.
Why ain't they working with you now?
They found their own thing. They didn't want to do it. I can't make them.
Okay. But you're going to employ homeless people and other people, but you're not. What about? So you don't got no other members of your family that's willing to get out there and grind with you? Nobody, besides your wife.
Not at the moment.
So the same thing you was preaching us about coming together as black people as collective, you're not even practicing none of this, JP.
How's I'm not practicing it and they don't want to go work?
Yeah, JP, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ika.
You said that your wife is part of your business, right?
You said what?
Your wife, she's part of your. She's running the business with you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. So, with your food truck, do you move around or you stationary?
Well, once I get my food truck, I'm gonna be moving. I'm gonna find a place where it's cause I'm getting a contract with hospitals at like doing third shift because in the hospitals they kitchen closed during third shift. So I'm gonna have my food truck there while the hot dog cart be at the clubs on the weekends, or even if I get other hospitals, the hot dog cart could be at the house, the hot dog cart and the food truck. All I gotta do is put some bodies in there and let them go work it.
Okay. If you're gonna do the hot dogs on the weekend, what are you doing during the weekday? With the hot dog machine, what are you doing during the weekday?
You said what?
If you're doing the clubs weekends, right? What is the hot dog machine doing during the weekday? Is it going to be idle during the weekday?
Yeah, see, I've been trying to find other contracts. I had got another contract at a barbershop. We went up there, and it was kind of slow and stuff. So I guess I got to go back up there, continue to try to see what I can do to, to bring the attention. So once I get that food truck down, either if the hospitals don't come through, I'm looking into some factories, 24-hour factories, so we can work third shift during the week. So me and my wife, we actually been getting up little proposals and going around to these factories and stuff. So that way we can make money. We can make money. We're going to have to employ people to work all during the week.
Okay, let me ask you a question real quick. Which city do you live in?
I don't want to disclose that.
No. Just tell me. I have a business reason for you. It's okay. I'm not asking for your house
I'm a
address.
Milwaukee baby.
Milwaukee. So downtown Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee. How is the downtown booming? Does it have a like high-rise building construction going on in the downtown area and traffic? How's the traffic in your downtown?
Yeah, they got a lot of traffic, especially on the weekend.
What about weekdays? Construction is going on down in
Yeah,
downtown.
yeah, we've been looking
Why
up. We've been looking into some construction sites and stuff too. So
why don't you approach that?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. My wife, we putting up a business proposal with the
No, you don't
brochures, the
have to do
business
business
cards.
proposal. You just got to drive to them.
We just trying to be
You
more
don't need
professional
business.
with it.
You don't need business proposal for that. You can drive to them because they're hungry. They need food.
Yeah, hey, we don't mind doing it. If they let us come over there and sell, we sell.
Okay.
I got plenty of stuff. I don't just sell hot dogs. Last week, well, a couple weeks before, I put a barbecue grill on. I tested a barbecue grill on my hot dog cart, and we sold out. We was selling rib dinners, and my ribs is fine. I was selling ribs, greens, cornbread, mac and cheese.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
So the reason why I'm telling you this, right? You have a lot of venues to go to. You can't just wait for the clubs during the weekend because that's one bad way of thinking about business or doing business. You have a whole lot of places to go to. You have campuses. You have business areas. You have a lot of places to go to and do good.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I've been peeping how the Mexicans do it,
Okay,
and I'm
so
doing it from the black
the
perspective.
part of the problem is JP's lazy. He doesn't want to work like that. He just want to do it on the weekend and that's it.
That's
Because
what
you like you sit there and say you don't have to
So
have a
yeah,
business
that's what we've
proposal.
been doing.
You don't have to have a
Hey,
business
we
proposal to
looking for
take
some
your
more
food truck
contracts.
or
So
your hot dog cart
once we get
out to
another
a
contract,
construction
as far
site.
as like doing
So
a
what
week,
JP, what
we
you
be
should be
good.
doing if you were smart, of course you're not, but if you was smart, during the week you should be taking it out there doing a lunchtime hour at these factories. And on the weekend, you should be at them damn clubs. That's what you should be doing. But instead, your lazy ass ain't trying to do none of that. You ain't trying to do that shit for real. You just talking.
I think you false. I think you just up there.
What are you waiting on, JP?
Okay,
You waiting for somebody to do it for you?
this Pookie and Ray
You
Ray
always looking for
established black
handouts.
financial literacy. The bottom, I'm supposed to be the bottom of all you uppity niggas right
So
here.
JP, you're
You
a
is a better
part-time
man
dude.
than me. Where's
You
your
you're
financial
so
literacy?
you're a part-time hot dog sales, a part-time hot
At least
food
I'm
cart.
doing it.
No, you're not, JP. You're doing it on the part-time like it's a leisure activity. If you was really about making money, like you talking about, you will be at that construction site during the week, Monday through Friday, maybe between 11 and 2 o'clock, to try to get some of that
So how
weekday
many people
money.
you
You're not
employing on
you're
in
not
your
you're not
company?
doing that though, JP.
How many people are you employing in your company?
Hey, JP, I got to tell you
Let
something,
me tell
right?
you how many people.
Look
I
at
got
what
two
Ink is
tenants
saying.
right now, JP. And
Ink
You
and
might
it's
got
be
a
two
yelling.
tenant.
Ink might be
and
yelling
JP,
at
let me
you
tell
They
you
because
been
this.
he's
trying to
telling
screw
I'm
you
in
for
a
a
he's
long
telling you a
process,
whole lot of
JP.
bullshit,
I'm in a
right?
process right now. My current house I live in, I'm about to rent this one out too. So now I'm gonna have three
You
tenants.
talking about the same tenant that accused you of walking in the house and flirting with her?
No,
Go ahead, he
What? No,
ain't
no,
talking
no, no,
about
no, no,
nothing.
no, 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 no. JP, you
again,
don't.
remember what you're saying, JP, because I'm gonna
This
come
is
at
what
you.
Ink is telling you. Ink is
You know
telling
you
you the
put your
real
life
truth,
on
brother.
YouTube, so I got plenty of dirt on you. Don't do that, JP.
JP, Ink is telling you a whole lot of good stuff. Just forget about the gaslighting. Focus on what he just said. What he
He
just
doesn't.
told you right now is a very powerful business idea. Listen to him.
No, I don't have to listen to him because that's already in the making. That's what we've been
It's,
doing. But
it's not because you would have
we
already
did
done it
one
by
thing
now,
at it.
JP.
We
You
doing
making
one thing at a time,
excuses.
right? So
You're a weak man who makes
so
excuses, JP.
I had just got my heart because we were shut down from January to June
Why?
because of the laws. Then when my wife came down here, we got to the council meeting. So I'm just now getting back up. So
So
we
what have
not
you been
finished.
doing,
I'm still gonna be going to
JP?
other
What have you been?
contracts and pulling
So during that time
contracts.
you shut down, what have you been doing with your food cart then?
Working my CNA job.
No comment.
Working what job again?
I
Working
was
what job?
certified nursing assistant.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a lie.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end the stream. No, appreciate everybody tuning in today. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the chat for being active. Thank you guys for coming and giving y'all perspective. Catch us on the next one.